encounters with them, shall we say, and much of what you had learned about their works throughout the coast having been revealed in your initial denouement in the arena of the pillars where you arrive. Now, some time has passed as those negotiations have moved on. The members of the group have spent this time in various ways, pursuing either their own goals, further research, or some other work. As we begin, 11 weeks have passed since that combat in the Arena of the Pillars. The party has, for the most part, spent its time in Perona, although some have ventured further afield. Those of you who have kept tabs on the young boy that you briefly traveled with have learned a little of what has happened to him since then. Following the very dramatic events of the Concours de l'Honneur, Tristan was taken into a position of honor within the Order of the Argent. It became clear in the days and weeks that followed the events of the tournament that the powers that had been granted to him by Argent's presence were gone. The magic that had been at his disposal, the ability to change shapes, and the bracer that had decorated his wrist, all gone and dispersed with the dispersal of the Argent himself into the Paladins of the Oath. However, he was very clearly not wholly unchanged by the episode. After a brief convalescence at his mother's home, he returned to the Order's cloister, and rangers and others of the wilderness could now very frequently be seen making their way to and from the Order's cloister in the Summer Palace. In the weeks that followed, there appeared to be a great deal of internal strife within the Order, and many prominent knights left. However, others who only weeks before had seemed to take pride in parading about the streets in gleaming armor were now seen riding out of Perona itself, clad in simple traveling cloaks, strange looks of determination on their faces as they ventured forth on new and unknown errands. The boy himself spent most of his time, a great deal of it, within that cloister. Precisely what he did there, not largely known to the party. However, though any who did visit would often find him sitting in the high chambers of the cloister's towers, one eye closed, while the other, still a milky white, stared out over the lands all around. Any who asked why he stood or sat in such an attitude, with his eyes shut, would receive a simple, enigmatic smile, and the answer, "Sometimes it helps me see more clearly." However, the party, for the most part, have had other matters to attend to during the intervening periods. Lorian, for your part, I understand that you have spent much of your time outside of Perona in the company of Valco, seeking largely to avoid the pomp and circumstance of the courts and focusing your time and attention on training your companion, the party's kind of mascot companion. Is that the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, under your tutelage, Valco continues to very quickly grow in both size and strength, becoming very adept at moving and fighting in the armored suit that the group fashioned for him, or had fashioned for him. the uncanny intelligence that he has displayed since the group's rescue and adoption has definitely allowed him to learn many new kind of tricks and maneuvers that you have sought to teach him, and he very attentively studies with you, seeming to understand that you are training him to become more of a sort of worthwhile companion to the group and to his pack, if you wish to refer to it as such. Are there any specific maneuvers or specific kind of things that you were trying to impart to him during this period?
Definitely getting him more used to the saddle, so that as he grows, potentially Naira could have a mount. But for maneuvers, I would say...
Hold on, I have a list of what he already knows.
I think he knows disarm.
He knows a shit ton. We had some really good rolls. Here you go.
Jesus Christ. I love fetch. Potentially teach him to do what Lorium hates. Disengage is a bonus action. But as well as just further grappling. Not only just the bite pin down, but if he can't pin down, just a grapple. Keeping someone in place, and if you would allow for that, potentially just almost like an attack assist, like the next attack would have advantage sort of scenario. As he would drag like someone's arm down, like completely taking them off balance, making them vulnerable, if that would make sense.
So sort of not actively attacking himself, but providing essentially the help action to somebody who was already in combat.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a handle animal check with advantage.
Oh, hey, not bad.
17. Okay. Yeah, I will say you are able to add both of those maneuvers to his list. So you have essentially hold as a command, as well as help.
Is it okay if we just make that the threaten and just a better version of threaten?
Yeah.
It's apt for Lorium to call it threaten rather than help.
That is
I thought so
too.
Threaten. You told him threaten. I told him
teach him? Can we teach him to recognize that little bitch means enemy?
No. We call each other little bitch a lot.
Yeah, that could backfire real quickly. Lorium mutters under his breath, little bitch. He goes, takes down a child.
Oh no.
So yes, your training is very successful. He very kind of studiously and attentively, as I said, follows your tutelage, seems to get a great deal of enjoyment from the process of learning with you and with Sunshine, and kind of just sort of being with you guys and spending this time sort of developing his skills. Also during this time, as he has done throughout the time that you have known him, he continues to grow. And by the end of these 11 weeks is almost as large now as some horses, bristling with this jet black fur and clad in armor. He represents actually quite a fearsome spectacle to most. And though certain people have become used to his presence in the areas that you regularly attend, and just kind of note him but aren't put off by him, you do become used to being given a rather wide berth as you travel the streets of Perona, with this enormous armored wolf padding along beside you. However, of course, anytime he encounters one of the other party members, Naira in particular, this fearsome visage does melt away, as he is still very happy and enamored with the group and your treatment of him. Lorium in particular, though, you do notice that being out in the wilds beyond Perona, as you sort of, go on these training excursions, you do find yourself encountering several of the Knights of the Argent Order as they go about their own errands, all of whom greet you as Sir Lorium. This actually happens with enough regularity that you believe they may be almost intentionally seeking you out as you go about your own business. And one of the clues to this is that most of them who find you and greet you bring a cut of meat for your lupine companion.
Because he is a good boy.
Let's go, we're known.
Several weeks into this downtime, on one of your frequent trips back into town, you do actually find, when you basically check in at the Exquisite Blush, that though they have not availed themselves of the somewhat pricey accommodation at that establishment, a number of individuals have arrived in town and essentially left messages there for you to come and meet them at a, shall we say, more accommodating tavern elsewhere in the city. And you find that Barco, Samson, Shaula, and Leon have all answered your call and are currently in Perona, very keen to resume their service with you. They are all very intrigued by the messages that you sent referencing kind of new and powerful allies. And all are very keen to assist you in any way in your ongoing hunt for the beast.
Yes! Introductions are gonna have to be made.
Okay, so is there anything we can certainly have those introductions happen later, but is there anything else you wish to accomplish or investigate or do during the downtime?
For him, not necessarily. He was mainly just, this city is boring for the most part. He is going out with Valco to hunt and kill shit that could be a problem.
Okay. So, moving on then, let's go to Naira. Naira, for your part, in the days that follow the tournament, the bards of the city are in a absolute frenzy of creation. Every single one of them from every college, not just Sorveni, are vying for the chance to learn and perform the story that you and Uther have scribed, and that you gave a impromptu performance of at the Concours d'Honneur. Several versions of it, of varying accuracy and quality, certainly, can already be heard in many different venues about the city. However, before you can kind of get too involved in any of those processes, you are personally approached by Dean Calum of Sorveni, who mentions that he was present at the concours, saw not only your performance and recounting of all that you have sort of encountered and done, but also your performance in the arena. And he expresses some astonishment that your journeys beyond the college have become so embroiled in violence and danger, and laments that your tutelage at the college may have been deficient in preparing you for them, though you have obviously adapted admirably and carved out for yourself a highly effective combat methodology. He offers to correct this oversight in your tutelage through a personal introduction to a brand of magic that he is familiar with.
Obviously, yes, she's very excited. However, I will note that anybody who was around her that night found her crying and saying, "He got me deficient!"
Specifically, he called your tutelage deficient.
I don't think that matters.
Fair enough. However, in the following weeks, you study with him a unique brand of magic, and what he shares quickly moves past the boundaries of bardic performance that you have already acquainted yourself with, and you very quickly find yourself expanding your libretto with sheave upon sheave of new pages covering the complex kind of spell shapes and other methodologies that you are learning. He shows great surprise and joy at your swift mastery of these arts, blending spell, song, and even dance into a new and deadly art form. And the two of you spend almost every spare moment of the following weeks refining and expanding your mastery of these new arts in the libraries and gymnasiums of Sorveni. When the business of the Academy calls him away, you have business of your own to attend to. You had previously sent a missive to your erstwhile patron, Lord Murdoch, and during this period, you receive your first reply.
Interesting.
The first message you receive from him is cautious, though conciliatory. Mostly sort of probing questions and overtures of cooperation couched in the lamentation of the loss of your brother and the misguided folly that led to such an event. Over the weeks that follow, several more messages are exchanged, culminating in a message that arrives during the final week before our adventure resumes. Do you wish me to read out this message, or would you prefer I simply send it to you?
She would share it, so no reason not. Well, yes, please do. Also, can I roll an insight check to see how much I think that he has brought into my ruse? And also, can I use my new special ability on that?
Yes and yes.
Woot.
By the way, so did you want me to read it out, or just send it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Lady Naira Lyons.
Oh no! I believe him.
No.
Damn you, dice in the story you went to tell.
I am gratified to expect from your missus that this letter finds you in good health and high spirits. It is with a heavy heart and a humble pen that I lament the oversights of my past and the pain that they have caused you. In retrospect, I realize the depth of your suffering during those times, and I can only express my sincere regret for the part I played in causing you such anguish. First and foremost, I wish to extend my deepest gratitude once again for the invaluable insights you have shared with me regarding Bartram and the deep-rooted corruption within my organization. Your revelations have shaken the very foundation of my beliefs and forced me to confront the darkness that has tarnished my name. For this, I am forever indebted to you, not only for the truth you have uncovered, but also for the courage it took to confront me and reveal the painful realities that surround us. Furthermore, I must offer my heartfelt congratulations on the remarkable accomplishments that you have achieved. What I have heard of your journey has been nothing short of awe-inspiring, and it fills me with pride to witness the formidable allies and powerful friends you have gathered around you. Welcomed at both the Sama and Valian Palace, I am not trained to boast. The strength of your character and the unwavering determination you possess are truly admirable. Though our paths diverged for a time, I humbly request that you continue to oblige me with your correspondence. Your wisdom and guidance have become indispensable to me, never more so than in recent times, and I yearn for the opportunity to learn from your profound insights once more. I long to rebuild the trust that was lost between us and to forge a new and stronger partnership that will allow us to confront the injustices that plague our realm. Though I must admit that you have long outgrown such an affectation, I trust you will not begrudge that a part of me will always think of you as my darling little pet. And so it is to both Lady Nyra Lionsbane and my long-favoured ward that I address this message with utmost respect and sincerity. Yours, Lord Donlan Murdoch. And I will go ahead and pop that in your channel.
Yeah, Nyra's definitely feeling conflicted. Some part of her is going, I made him proud. Oh.
As for what insights you were able to get from them, it is hard to tell. You know from personal experience that he is a most adept wordsmith, and it is almost impossible, simply from words on a page, to glean any insights into his true thoughts. You are not, at this point, anywhere near naive enough to believe that he means every word sincerely, but as to what he truly does believe, you are at a loss.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so your training continues apace with Dean Calum, the results of which are already on your character sheet. This is the latest missive that you have received from Lord Murdoch. You have also sent several missives to your brother during this period, which I believe Nick may have already spoken with you about.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So we don't need to get into that here. Is there anything else that you would like to accomplish or do or investigate or anything like that during this downtime?
No, I did get my rapier modified.
Yes. Which, once again, Dean Calum would have been happy to assist you with, both in introducing you to the kind of workshops and spellsmiths that you would have needed for this feat, as well as kind of ensuring that it was compatible with your new teachings and methodologies.
And yeah, other than that, she's just been as often as she can, as frequently as possible, by Uther's side, helping with, fun political stuff.
Okay. Moving on then. Wander. You have spent much of your time in these weeks traveling, as we have discussed.
Yes.
First, however, you mentioned that fairly consistently throughout this period, you would be reaching out into the divine realms. Your connection with them is strengthening day by day, week by week. And using this newfound clarity of connection, you have been reaching out to beseech protection for your new young friend. From your understanding of such matters, it is supposed to be a most rare thing for these requests for connection to be swiftly or indeed at all answered. However, when you find some time and begin this ritual, focusing internally and reaching out with your awareness and power, you very quickly realize that you are receiving a response. As you shape your request and push it out into the void, reaching up toward the celestial realms, questing for an answer to your beseechment of protection, you feel yourself in a familiar kind of void. Not the void that you have been to in the past, a different place, but of the same type, if you understand my meaning.
Mm.
And in this place, you hear voices speaking to each other distantly. Please give me a perception check.
All right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, 25. You focus, reaching out with sharper determination now toward these voices, now that you have felt this answer coming to your call. And
Real quick, for the sake of consistency, does the whole no right eye thing affect perception?
not in this instance.
Okay. Not yet.
And actually, go ahead and give me either a wisdom saving throw or an insight check.
I never fail wisdom saves. I never fail them. Can't fail those either.
It would not matter if your eye were to affect your watchfulness or not in this place. For in this place, you do not have a body. You are not, though you have a presence, you are not the being of stone, wood, and steel that walks the Harashan coast.
Huh.
However, in this place, you as you focus, the voices spring into sharper clarity, and you recognize at least one of them. The speaking to the other, which is a woman. The first you recognize as Neravale, the Archfey. You're not entirely certain what their nature was, whom you met en route to the Argent Realm. Their voice says, "This is one of those who trod my realm, my lady. I could not divine much of them. They were closed." And you hear in response the female voice, "He is that and more, Neravale. So much more. You may leave us." And you have an impression of a figure standing before you. It's hard to discern them. At one level, they are a woman hunter, a human of noble bearing, clad in a travel cloak, a bow in their hand, an arrow bag on their hip, staring at you with piercing, watchful eyes. And yet you see almost overlaid, flaring out behind them. So much more than that. Shapes of animals running through the woods. People, humans, elves, dwarves, every race and creed, stalking through woods, through rivers, through rushes, through every aspect of the natural world, dark tunnels beneath the earth even. All of it at once in this figure before you. And she looks at you and says, "Ah, I had heard you walked abroad. I had no idea the truth of it was thus. You reached out concerning my ward, the youth. What concern is he of yours?"
I like him.
There is much to like. So tell
Will
me.
you protect him?
I would be a poor one to make an oath to if I did not. If that is your concern, you may rest easy. He is mine.
Thank you.
So tell me, why do you walk abroad? I hear little from the higher realms, and only rumors have reached me.
If at all possible, he'll communicate a head tilt. And he'll say, "What do you mean abroad?"
You are not in your appointed place. I had not known such a thing was possible in truth.
What is my place?
And she sort of tilts her head back at you.
Yes, the double head tilt.
And says, "Ah, I see. Well, a little at least." To say more would be unwise. For another to guide you. No, it is not my place.
And as she finishes that, he'll say, "Do you know what Kindfell is?"
And she kind of gives a small sort of enigmatic smile and says, "Is that what you seek?"
Yes.
I truly hope you find it. For all our sakes. And the vision fades.
Coolio.
Back in the mortal realms, upon announcing your intent to travel and your destination, Lady Loretta requests that you travel in the company of an envoy carrying missives and drafts for King Rotusio, to Vanya. The journey there is unremarkable, but upon your arrival, the king greets you very happily, congratulating you upon the fine work the group accomplished both on Air Lacus and in Avignosera. With a smile, he presents you with the purse of 2,500 gold pieces that was promised for your journey to Air Lacus. It seems like a lifetime ago, though he laughingly admits that a good deal more is now owed based upon the accounts that he has received. From what we discussed, you wished to inquire with him about the acquisition of some components and the like, correct?
Yes.
He very gladly opens the storehouses of the royal enchanters to you. Your every request for incense, herbs, things of that nature is granted without question. And when the sum is brought to you in a small chest, you find that in addition to the bundles that you had expected, a large glimmering diamond sits proudly atop all of the rest.
As it should be.
Looks at you with a smile and says, I have heard from my aunt of the great efforts you made to rescue and heal Lord Nebula from his misadventures on the Isle. I understand that the spells necessary for such effects can sometimes require costly components, and so that I hope that this small bonus will recompense you for the efforts you have made.
I hope it need not.
You can tell through your familiarity with such things. The diamond, though you are not certain of its precise value, would be sufficient to empower spells requiring 500 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
Cool. Very cool.
Continuing on from Vanya, you travel your journey through the rest of Alaronava and down the Alsarai and across Morosa back to Aldwell is relatively unremarkable, though you, being you, do attract curious stares and attention wherever you go. The general presentation that you give means that your standard bandits and highwaymen do not seek to trouble you much on your journeys. And it is fairly quick that you are able to arrive back in Aldwell. Even from a distance, you can see that the small community seems to have been doing quite well for itself in your absence. The watchtowers and defenses that were hurriedly created during the siege seem to have actually been reinforced. There is now a stone foundation about the watchtower on the hill and small guard posts, essentially, though you couldn't really call them gatehouses given that there is no palisade really around the whole town. But still, there are evidently more efforts being made to ensure that the Golden Band can keep the small community safe. In terms of your arrival, do you just kind of like rock up into town, or are you taking a particular approach?
No, he just walks through town.
Fair enough. Immediately upon your approach, you are recognized and mobbed as a returning hero. Everyone from the Golden Band to the townsfolk to the children pours out, gathering around you and cheering everyone you meet while you are just bombarded by questions about the rest of the Lions, your travels, how have you been, how are you, everything and anything that they can ask about, they are. How do you respond to this kind of treatment?
Yeah, he does his absolute best to answer everything in 4 words or less.
Fair enough.
I am good. They are fine. Things like that.
Well, despite the best efforts then to coax you into greater engagement, you eventually do find a refuge of sorts in Duval's Grove. Spending some days and weeks there in peaceful meditation and the, call it, joyful curiosity of the village folk is tempered by the solemnity of his grove. And so you are able to spend your time there largely undisturbed. So you wished to cast Hallow using the components that you retrieved in Vanya, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Give me, please, a religion check. And you may use your wisdom for it.
Easy motherfucking peasy. 14.
14, okay. Yeah, you are able to hallow the grove. Between the two of you, you spend a day performing the necessary rituals, chanting beseechments and prayers to gods of good and beings of peace, and working together are able to hallow the small grove.
Good. I'm happy. This is a good place.
Okay. Eventually, enough time has expired that you believe you will be needed back in Perona, and you begin to make your return. On your return through, you did mention as well that you wished to stop by the orphanage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The orphanage, once again, you are greeted very happily, although Ajax does mention that he was slightly concerned, given that Midnight has not yet returned and they have had no news from him. He does not seem like completely distraught, but he does seem worried, as Midnight did not indicate that he would be gone for as long as he has.
And then this is where the conversations Nick and I have had come into play. So, to Ajax's concern, Wander will just say, "Where he is, time is strange. I'm sure he's okay." Trying his absolute best to to bolster his confidence.
He seems to kind of take this with relative equanimity. Thanks you for your visit and for your reassurances, and like for just basically saying, yes, I'm in contact with Midnight, he's good. Was basically all he was looking for, and he's very happy to hear it. And yeah, you are other than that, all seems relatively well with the orphanage and the people there. They seem largely undisturbed and much as they ever were.
And while he's there, because he's got the purse now, he's gonna take out a couple hundred gold and give it to Ajax. And, you know, in front of the children, so that it's not just like Wander's giving Ajax money for nothing. It's like, you're a good guy. Here's a lot of money.
You make it clear this is a donation for the orphanage, not just here. Go treat yourself.
Yeah, here, go take a 4-month vacation.
He abandons the orphanage.
Fair enough. He is agog at this generosity and is like just kind of falls over himself to express his gratitude. Like just literally speechless at the difference that this will make to what he is able to do for these children and for the orphanage in general. As he
does that,
he will basically.
Wander's just gonna go. Would more help? I have more.
I mean.
Then another 100 gold.
But,
this one out of my own pocket. This one is actually just mine. And as if he tries to deny it, he'll just go, I do not eat. Children do.
And they will eat well. With this, thank you so much.
And then he'll sit down with one nice dinner with the family, and then he'll return.
Okay. The rest of your journey back to Perona is again fairly uneventful, but yes, you have spent your time out in the in Faithful Super's Grove, meditating and hallowing the place, and yes, you return to the city of Perona to rejoin the group.
Yes.
Moving on.
And we'll talk about distributing the purse later.
Yeah, we've just got 2 more people to go through, and then we can get into the individual. Like, you guys can all have a chat about what you've all learned about each other in these little episodes.
And how the king gave us a purse of 500 gold. It's crazy.
So, Midnight, are you back? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. And your voice is a lot clearer now. Excellent. So, very briefly, you emerge from the forests where you have been hunting, and as you move further and further out from the wild forest, re-entering the land of tended fields and neat hedgerows, it's like awakening from a dream. The time, you are not certain how much that you spent among the trees, seems strangely elastic. It blurs and runs together like memories clouded by wine and mead, and you find yourself staring at the world around you as though it is strange, before you come to the slow realization that it has not changed it as much as you left it. Instead, you have changed. What you left behind in the forests, you are not certain. What changed among those trees, you are not certain.
Well, shit.
Ajax greets you with very happy relief. And through your conversations with him, you do realize that the time that you have spent has been somewhat elastic, and your memories of all that transpired, all that you did, all that you recall from your time hunting, does not match up with his accounting of your leaving or your return. However, before you can think too deeply on this, he passes on a sheaf of missives from your sister, saying that they have arrived for you in the weeks that you have been gone.
His eyes will go real wide, and then he'll go, "Oh shit!" Look down at one of the orphans and go, "Shocking, so shocking," and then proceed to start reading like a madman.
Well, upon your conclusion of catching up on your sister's correspondence, as we discussed, pretty much your next option is swiftly saying your farewells, promising to not be gone for quite so long to Ajax and the orphans, and then jumping on a ship bound for the city of Perona to rejoin your friends and sister.
Yay!
And last, but certainly not least, in this little endeavor that has taken up these 11 weeks, Uther. With the very public victory of the intrepid adventuring party known as the Lions of the Harashan Coast, and the silencing of one of the loudest voices calling for war, support was secured for negotiations to soothe the simmering tensions in the western coast between Vanya and Abignosera. In the following days and weeks, Uther has very quickly become central to the process, acting as the public face of the group in giving testimony and recounting the evidence that they unearthed in their travels, working with your darling wife to present her meticulous notes on the subject in the most compelling manner.
That's hurtful.
In this way, in the following weeks, you recount and expose at least a portion of the clandestine cult known as the Fivefold Truth and their insidious machinations in seeking to fuel tensions between Vanya and Abignosera. In the wake of the startling revelations brought forth by your testimony and your work in front of the court, both kingdoms agree and buckle down to the delicate process of negotiation. The negotiations, led by Lady Loretta on the side of Vanya and Sir Ebelad on the side of Abignosera, and mediated in many cases by yourself, unfold over several weeks that quickly turn into months. In an effort to attempt to restore, or at least create, harmony, and rebuild the trust between the two kingdoms, new treaties are discussed and drafted endlessly, each seeking to address the legitimate concerns that the tensions were built upon. The negotiations commence with an air of cautious optimism, but each step is hampered by the weight of the revelations that have been brought to light and the implications for the upper echelons of both kingdoms. The findings that you have presented have implicated numerous minor nobles, merchants, and influential figures from both sides, leaving no doubt that the cult's poisonous influence had permeated very deeply, but making the process of dealing with these troublemakers a increasingly delicate matter. Please go ahead and roll me a persuasion and insight roll.
Certainly. Persuasion. And then I'm gonna burn my inspiration and take this one. At advantage. Okay, needed it.
Okay, so that is an average. Got it.
And I'm pushing more with like an elven mindset. As like nobody's gonna walk away happy from this, but that's when you know it worked. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Going for sort of the long-term gain.
Exactly. No, this will work for 500 years kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah. So you do provide a soothing influence to the negotiations. Both Lady Loretta and Sir Ebelad are swayed by your entreaty. They have both are attempting to kind of take an approach where the legitimate concerns that were kind of behind these tensions were actually kind of brought to the forefront and dealt with, but you are able to kind of use your fairly your easy sort of cavalier wit to hide your more sort of acerbic tongue that you use to put wayward diplomats and the like into line and sort of lash everybody together. However, the path is by no means a smooth one. There are certain animosities seem too ingrained to simply be cast aside despite your best efforts. And for a period, questions about the fitting punishments of key figures on both sides are quite angrily argued over. You hear questions being shouted every time you engage in another of these negotiation sessions. Somebody from Vanya is, why should we grant the disinheritance of the Endless while the Allfields must merely pay a fine? That is silly. Why must the scion of the Baladane face censure for the act of his younger brother, but Sir Henkal on your side is allowed to inherit land and title without question? These and even more frustrating questions nag at the process for some time, and for a short period, the tensions threaten to return despite your best efforts. However, you are able to hold them in a delicate balance with a 25, and it is into this delicate balance that a writ is delivered. A writ written upon pressed mushroom parchment and in the intricate runic script of the dwarven kingdom of Gurdak in the mountains to the north. It arrives addressed to the Kar's Bond, the old dwarven embassy with which you recently acquainted yourself, and is delivered to the Summer Palace by a clerk shaking with excitement, marking the first communication from the throne room of Karak Agzor in over 60 years. The writ, as all things dwarven, is complex and carefully crafted, but at its heart are a few lines of great importance. We have received and considered the entreaty of our dead stone kin, and thus are moved to the following declaration. Should a determination to confront the great corruption, of which this fivefold truth is but a single fragment, exist between Vanya and Abhidnostra, Azor shall guarantee it consideration for inscription in our books of law, so that the bonds of the Stoneheart Accords may be reforged, and this great enemy confronted by the combined might and will of both field and stone. The writ bears the seal of Queen Koldabar Mithundan Torbera, Queen of Karak Agzor. This arrival gives new impetus and great new weight to Uther's voice in the proceedings. Please go ahead and roll me another persuasion check, this one with advantage.
Love me some dwarves.
Don't you?
It's like, give me the ball, dwarf. Love ya. And swish.
Ah!
Oh, 23.
Wait, that was a performance. That was a
Oh,
performance.
my bad. My bad.
Wait, shouldn't it be 24?
Yeah, I misclicked.
Yeah, 24 should be.
So not bad.
That's it.
Oh, shit!
Swish. The dwarf with the assist.
Holy shit, 33. Okay. Let me scroll down a bit. Okay. Using this newfound power and the respect that this writ gives to your voice, you are able to hammer both sides into obedience. And within just a few more weeks, the final text of the treaties is agreed upon, and the Throne Accords, as they are known, are signed by both Queen Alorana and King Lortusio in Vanya. They represent a huge and complex web of guarantees and promises between the two kingdoms about confrontation of corruption and joint ventures of law, all of which are bound by the expectation of renewed trade through the Northern Passes, enriching both kingdoms. The signing of the final text, as we begin our adventure, has just taken place, and the writ signed by King Lortusio is returning now aboard ship for recognition in the Summer Palace. The Lions of the Harashan, as key members of this endeavor, are of course to be welcomed at the celebration that is to take place, which will, for one of the first times, feature nobles of Vanya being not only received, but genuinely welcomed at fete of the Summer Palace. This fete, which is to be known, which has been referred to as the Stone Path Fete, for its expectation of a journey to the Northern Mountains, is to take place tomorrow. The group, having returned from their various endeavors, I assume your sort of meeting place / stomping ground would be maintained as the Exquisite Blush?
Probably, yeah.
Definitely.
Well, Madame Rosaline is, of course, more than happy to host the Lions of Harashan throughout this period, placing at your disposal a suite on the second floor, as well as the luxuries and facilities of the establishment itself. And so, it is with the expectation of the fete tomorrow that the group has gathered.
Look at my butt. He's so big.
Wait, I
I
can't see
haven't
him.
gotten in yet. I want to see.
I know, right? I've lost access to him on the player list.
Oh no!
It was
Okay.
like it was the first thing I did was like I want to see our boy's stats.
Hang on, let me quickly configure this. Yep.
He's officially our own little Appa.
Big boy. You see Lord trudge in, and then just a massive head.
Holy shit, is that him?
I'm so proud of him.
He's so big.
And if you could drop my letter into chat, I would love it.
Absolutely. This, of course, is not even close to the full text. The writ that was received was a formal diplomatic document from the court of Karak Agzor, and thus comprised some several thousands of words. This was merely the most relevant and important part to the negotiations at hand.
Perfect.
Oh my god. Could you imagine writing like thousands of pages on spongy mushroom paper?
Nom nom.
And Uther's just sitting there reading through every page, being like, excellent.
He's put on his glasses and is smoking a pipe.
So, there has been an expectation of a fate to be had. The text, as I said, signed by and ratified by King Ortusio, has returned via ship from Vanya the day before. It has been recognized. Ooh.
Sorry, is there any chance that Naira could get a look at the guest list for that, please?
Most likely, yes.
I'm looking for 3 names.
They are not on the guest list.
Okay, cool.
But yes, let me send you those names. I just saw your message.
Well, here's the thing. Is there one that I know that is like the nicest of them? Like the one who probably gets abused by them when there's no other person around?
One moment, let me double check.
Actually, no. Better. I would like 2 of them on that guest list, and just the most popular one, the leader of them, she's not.
Fair enough. So that would be both Victoria and Isabella. Miranda was Miranda was the ringleader, shall we say.
Right. Okay, so Miranda does not get an invitation, but Isabella and Victoria do. Is that possible? Can Naira make that happen?
Absolutely. Yeah, like, no rolls, no checks required. You all are being basically presented as guests, and your attendance and sort of requests are assumed.
Oh, and by the way, it's very important. They are not Naira's guests. They are simply invited by the palace or whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah, you are able to have a quiet word with the seneschal during, like, as the arrival of the ratified accords is being discussed, and ensure that this request will be met. They are both from relatively prominent families within the city, so it is not altogether, like, unheard of for that they would be invited to such an event.
Perfect.
So, you all have gathered in one of the drawing rooms of the Exquisite Blush. Outside, the common area itself is awash, as it always is, with music and energy and dancing. But there does seem to be an extra verve to it tonight, with the expectation, the public announcement that there is to be a royal fete the next day has triggered an expectation of celebration throughout the city that Madame Rosaline is all too happy to capitalize on, announcing that the Exquisite Blush will host its own special events in expectation of this, events which have started this very night. And so, though you do have relative privacy in your room here, you can hear the sounds of very busy and raucous entertainment beyond the door. But this is possibly the first time that all of you have been able to sit down together since the events immediately following the concours. And so if there are any immediate discussions or anything like that that you wish to have at this point, you may do so.
Wander's gonna plop that chest on the table. Just flip it open.
Well, first off, welcome back, buddy. Second off, where'd you get that?
The king for Hirthakus.
Oh shit! Honestly, forgot we were getting paid for that.
Me too.
Sort of kicks it over to Naira and Uther.
It all falls on the floor immediately.
Naira has taken up a posture you probably both remember from like Arden Grove when she was still very nervous around you guys. She's sitting on the edge of her seat. No, not Arden Grove. You're right. Aldwell. She's sitting on the end of her seat. Very straight posture. Ankles crossed. Hands slightly worrying in her lap, and just trying to look prim and proper.
Why are you looking like a new recruit?
I'm not sure I know what you mean, Morian.
He means relax.
Welcome back, Wanderer. Did you have a good time on your own?
Is she not relaxing?
Nope.
Don't dodge it.
Ooh, that's a good one. Do the call outs. It gets people back in line.
Is something wrong?
Are you not happy that your little boy's not so little anymore? He just looks over to Velko.
Wander will look at that and just... Does he have the saddle on him?
Yes.
He'll look over and just go, I didn't get to make the saddle. Just sad.
That was the big one that we've had. Didn't you help make that?
I thought I helped make fit the armor. I don't think I helped make the saddle, did I?
I thought you helped fittings with the saddle, yeah, as well.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Did I make the saddle? I could have sworn that they had the armor made and then I fitted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stole the saddle from the goblins.
It was a very pristine, exotic riding saddle. I remember because I was carrying it forever.
You were wearing it. That's crazy.
Oh.
Even when you were making use of the rope, that's wild.
No.
Yes.
But anyway.
Anyways, don't dodge the question, honey. Why are you
Naira rolled a performance check. If you would prefer that to be a deception check, it's the same result. She will modify her stuff slightly, but to give the appearance of oh man!
Will you know? Will you know?
I know I can't beat it, but it'd be funny. 10. Snorium's just like better.
Damn.
Not better. What's wrong?
I missed you, Wander.
God damn it, you're gonna make me roll another one.
You believe her.
Okay.
So it seems like y'all managed to fix up a lot. Gesturing over to Uther and Naira.
Uther's just sitting there rather smug. As you see him just having and taking a smoke as he smiles and crosses his legs. As he says, actually, so much so I've had some practice. Would you like to hear it?
Just stares at you.
As we stand together on this precipice of destiny, I want to take a moment to address you, the true heroes of this realm. In this realm of ration, we have forged a bond that transcends the boundaries of our characters. A bond that speaks to this very essence of our shared spirit. As he goes on for 10 minutes.
Yes!
Fucking inspiring leader, didn't you?
Yes. You all now have 15 temp HP.
Hell yeah.
God dang.
Just add it. I'm sure it won't become relevant, but let's just add it.
The last tell you a long rest, and then tomorrow, I've got another speech for you.
Oh no.
Oh, another story.
It wanders me, wanders. It worries me. It worries me when I look at Wanders and my HP with the temp HP, and then look at Naira's, and it's like, wait a second.
Yeah, Naira did have she has lost some of her hardiness, definitely.
She hasn't been eating right. God damn it, I leave for a few weeks.
She also does have a book now clipped to her belt.
It's not the saucy book, is it?
Is that the smut?
No. No. It's actually, you've seen it before. It was her libretto, but it is no longer really a music book.
Ah. So what have you been up to? Yes.
Does Naira still have her gun?
Huh?
Does Naira still have her blasting rod?
Sort of. She does have it's on her rapier now. She got the blasting rod and the rapier combined into one thing. It was fucking expensive.
She has a goddamn grenade launcher attached to her rapier.
She
Let's go.
She has this.
Waiting. Yes, a gunblade.
Yep.
Love it.
As you guys are sitting and talking, it is at this point that there is a polite knock that is polite but firm to be heard over the sounds of celebration outside.
You cut off there. What?
There is a polite knock at the door to your small estate room.
Wave my hand and mage man it, and then open the door.
Oh god, we're fancy.
Yeah, we're too good to get up and walk, even though I was literally an arm's length of the door.
Armand, the doorman, for the Exquisite Blush, is standing there, and he says, "Pardon the intrusion, Lord and Lady. There is a gentleman at the door who was querying as to whether you were available to receive guests. He says that he is a member of the Zakbara company."
This just is the lure.
Werecat.
Alright, go on.
Or Armand kind of turns and points to the door.
Oh, no.
And
Cast firebolt.
Command, stand still.
Midnight. Tell them what they see as they all come running out of the room.
Actually, they probably don't see that much, except they will recognize Wander's craftsmanship of the cloak as there's just a figure standing kind of in the shadow of the door jamb with the hood up, just waiting ever so patiently. Oh, was that anticlimactic?
No, it's perfect. The second this game unpauses, he's getting grappled, though. That's all I'm saying.
By all means.
Ah!
I'll give other people a chance to catch up, because Wonder is not that fast.
Lauren would just stand about right here and then just scream at you. Scar, you bastard, get over here! And that's when one tackles you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get distracted by the yell, and then all of a sudden, ah! Too much hugging.
And then he lets you go, and then we start walking in, as you do.
He'll walk up to Lorium, and he's got a big, like, shit-eating grin on his face, and he just gives you a nod, and then kind of starts looking around, and then when he sees his sister, just like beelines to her.
Lorium just turns at her and just goes, "Sorry, my lady, I'm just a little excited." For yelling in her ear.
That is quite all right. I understand that there's a lot of excitement in the city. Please, enjoy yourselves.
The rooms here are soundproof. They're used to the yelling.
Actually, yes.
Push
When
Midnight into the room.
when Midnight gets up to his sister, he'll just big grin on his face, and he'll just say, "Dinam Hasha, Mishnala."
Ray Parlima. Come in. Come in.
Marty pushing him in.
Right into Valko, and he's just like, "What the fuck is that?"
Valko, for his part, kind of, pads forward, not unsure, because that would imply a measure of fear potentially on his side. He's more just kind of like, "Are you friend or food?" As he sort of pads forward. Doesn't seem to recognize you at first. But, obviously is sort of friendly to you because of the greeting and the vibes that he's getting from the rest of the group. Sort of like...
He'll give Valko a good little scritch behind the ear, and then walk back up to his sister and go in for a hug.
Yeah, she'll hug you back. She does seem a little bit tense, but she is sort of looking at you like, "You're here."
Everybody, please, by the way, go ahead and roll me a perception check. And Naira, you may roll with advantage.
So about that eye thing.
As Lauren picks them both up. And then just drop.
Yeah.
Not in... No, Wonder. Mechanically, I will let you know if it becomes relevant, but not in this case. But for the most part, you can treat it as normal.
Heard that.
5.
Uther, are you rolling?
Yes.
The himbo already knows. See.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. I feel like even though she rolled low, Naira's DC was probably much lower.
Naira's DC was
No,
certainly- and
it couldn't be 7, though.
it was not 7. For your part, Naira, like, it's hard to tell whether it's just a figment of your imagination or just because you haven't seen him in longer than it's ever been before. But there is something kind of strange about your brother as you take him in. Wander, you can definitely, you're definitely able to notice more or less exactly what it is that seems different. But Uther, you in particular, probably because of your familiarity with the effects of time on people around you, the figure that stands in front of you is older than he should be. Not by a great deal, but certainly older.
How's Ajax?
He's great. The kids are great. Actually, they got a visit from Wander, and he made a pretty sizable donation. They wanted me to tell you thank you, Wander. That was so nice of you.
Just gestures towards the chest. My share. Naira becomes infuriated.
No. Why would
You dare waste gold on those peasants?
That's okay. Naira's about to become infuriated.
No.
I'm gonna step back.
Midnight's just gonna look at her and say, I'm so sorry. I got all your letters, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to respond right away. I kind of, have y'all had much experience with going into other planes of existence?
Recently, yeah.
Oh, cool. Then this will be easy. I kind of ended up in the Feywilds. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And he'll look to Naira and Uther.
What? All right, now I'm gonna need a lot more explanation than that. That's not a drive-by sentence. You got lost in the Fey?
Now he'll look confused and he'll look towards Wander and just go, "Oh, did you not say anything to them?"
I thought it would worry them.
Hey, definitely would worry Naira though.
you? Her facade has slipped. Her ears have flattened. She doesn't like feeling confused.
Sorry. At least let me start at the beginning. As far as I know it, and Andrew, please tell me if I say anything wrong. But
well, first of all,
oh, never mind.
go ahead and give me a wisdom or charisma saving throw.
Oh no.
Argent's back.
Hey!
Holy shit. I can barely see that.
Fair enough. With a 23. Yeah, you are able to recall fairly accurately, you believe at least, what transpired. So go ahead and say whatever you wish to say.
So, last y'all left me, I was with Ajax, and the kiddos, and everything was going pretty well. Leah was kind of making lots of headway on her magic. Actually, Dreamer, you'd find this really cute. She emulates the way that you cast. It's really she's just made a point. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm off track. So going fine, and then all of a sudden these guys, these Fae people kind of showed up and started talking about how they were looking for people like Leah that were what was the word that they used? Something about unseelie. And that they were part of this thing called the Great Hunt, because they were like ushering in the new season. Is that making sense to y'all?
No.
Wrapped up in the Wild Hunt.
Oh yeah. They were pretty adamant about taking Leah, and I wouldn't let them, so I offered to help them on their hunt while so that Leah could stay with Ajax. And I thought that was going to be just a little bit of time, but I think it ended up being a lot more time, although still not as much time as I thought.
Yeah, the Fae time's a little bit weird.
Yeah, so I'm real sorry if I've been unreachable, but yeah, I was kind of helping out on the Great Hunt, Wild Hunt. He kind of just like looks at all of you and takes in how different y'all all look as well. But it seems like y'all got up to some amazing stuff. In your letters, and he actually pulls out, and he has like he has all the letters that she sent, and you can see where he's like circled stuff and like marked stuff, and he like flips through some of them. You said you were having tea with the Queen?
Oh man.
Oh, hang on. Mick is playing up.
Not Mick.
This guy, he's been here since the beginning. He's more dedicated than any of us.
Okay, yeah, she'll be right back.
Okay.
Let's get a standing ovation from Mick.
Oh no.
Don't clap.
Oh, it's terrible. I love it.
Talk about
Yay!
Christine?
Oh.
You're coming
Oh,
through
no.
bits and pieces.
Mostly bits.
Somewhat pieces.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a minute more, guys. So, Uther, why don't you take that one?
Go on, Uther. Regale him.
Go on, give him an inspiring
Well.
speech.
If you want to hear an inspiring speech, too late. I only do one a day. You missed it. I perform once a part. It's part of my contract, actually.
Oh, look at us.
Well-
Fancy fees.
More things have been breaking down. Some things have been problematic. The fivefold seems to keep popping up, as well as the mind control. Though we've been able to, so far, I think, subvert the worst of it. Where we have had some real luck, though, is smile and just say, I've been able to play the middleman, having no real dog in the fight, and with what we've been able to accomplish for both of the kingdoms, I was able to be a voice of reason, as I think both of them are a bit pained by it, but I believe they see the wisdom in the new accords. I imagine it'll give us a much better chance of joining each other, and they're closer than they've been since the breaking of the Empire. So, overall, war averted. So,
Oh, well, that's good.
probably. There's still a boat. Some things could happen. But the big thing's out of the way. Now it's just putting the bow on top.
I think he like as he's listening to y'all talk about or what you've accomplished, he's just got like a nice soft smile across his face, and I think everyone would probably be able to notice that he seems a lot more at ease with himself and the world, and he's allowing himself to like enjoy things. And he'll just kind of look at everybody and say, I know this is gonna sound weird, but like, I guess with all the Fae time bullshittery, I don't know, I just miss y'all a lot.
Will you stay now?
Oh, yeah, Wander, I'm back. I'm here. And then he'll kind of turn and look to his sister and say, Minvalima. And then kind of smile back to everybody and then say, so, what is the great... I don't know, what are y'all calling yourselves now?
Just look at Uther.
The Lions of the Harassian Coast. I think
Right.
that's our formal title.
Well, what's next on the lines of the Harassian Coast?
There is a polite knock once more, and the door opens. One of the hostesses of the Exquisite Blush comes in and says, I understand that you had an additional guest. I brought drinks. Would anyone like another refreshment?
Yes,
Does
please.
she have milk?
They do. They are at this point used to these requests, and yes, there is a cup of milk upon the tray. And she comes in and sets some silver goblets around the table, another bottle of wine, and clears away the rest. Enjoy. If you have any other requests, please let me know.
Oh, actually, I do have one request. So sorry. This is gonna sound weird. I have like, my friends tell me I have like no taste whatsoever, but you don't happen to have like a wooden tankard or something? I just feel it just feels better when I drink stuff out of tankards.
Nora is looking horrified. You're gonna drink wine out of a tankard?
When did that kick in?
No,
Everybody get
you know what?
checks.
The one
And
is
Midnight,
just
if you wish, you can
disgusting.
roll a deception.
Yep.
Gotta beat a 5. Shit.
Damn it.
Everybody but Naira.
So what does Naira get?
Naira like watches his eyes like look at the silver goblet, and like he's kind of like glancing at it, and there's like a just under the surface. There's this like strain of like uncomfortability.
Okay. She is watching that, but she has nothing to say. She still thinks that like she's now even more confused about the request.
The hostess, for her part, kind of glances around in the small measure of consternation, and then rallies and she goes, "Certainly, of course. I shall see if we have something of that nature in the."
Oh, thank you so much, and I will give her 2 golds.
You are not carrying any coin.
Just kidding. I don't do that.
Haha! You're poor!
I just smile and wink at her. Thank you ever so much.
Thanks, Toots. I have no money to pay you.
This is going on their bill, right?
Nara will probably lean forward and say, they might struggle to find wooden tankards here.
Oh, well, I mean, it was just a comfortability thing. You don't believe a word that he's saying.
Would you... And she's trying to do an assessment here. You said it was uncomfortability. So she's going to look at the bottle and say, would you prefer to drink straight out of the bottle?
I mean, but that feels rude. I mean, does anybody else have a problem with that?
I'm sure we could all just take our share first.
Wander has already splashed his milk on himself.
Wander, I told you to use the bib.
Sorry.
Starts cleaning it up off you.
And then, kind of feeling her eyes on him, Midnight's gonna look towards Naira and just say, "Well, Dreamer, you said something about you going back to studies. What all did that entail?"
Well, just a lot of reading, writing stuff down. I did not realize that there were many different ways. Well, of course I realized that there were many different ways to learn spells, but apparently I'm quite good at just learning them by reading them.
Oh, so you're saying that you're even better at magic now?
Oh, well, maybe a smidge.
Question. Does she still have her instrument?
Yes, she does.
Oh, okay.
Did you not check her performance skill earlier? She's got very decent +8.
We just assumed you were singing.
Singing while being stiff on the couch.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm delighted. I kind of want to show you guys. Naira will still very much feel like Naira. She is still very much the skill monkey that she's always been.
Good.
Yes.
Balorian would say, I hate to cut the mood, but with the addition of new pals, and he'll look over at Midnight, just nod his head. Good to have you back, you little shit stain. And then,
yeah, it's good to be back in your presence, you big old shithead.
just a half smile. The request that you had a while back, or my promise, and he looks towards Naira, seems to come to fruition.
What? I'm sorry, what? What
For the
promise?
crew members. I reached out
For
to
the boat.
For the boat, yeah. Thanks, Wander.
Oh.
I reached out to a couple of my old squad mates, and some of them replied back, and now they're actually here in the city.
Oh,
whenever you'd like
wonderful.
to meet him.
If they come recommended from you, I don't think I need to meet them, but I'd be happy to. Thank you, Lorium.
There's like a moment of pause where he's like, well, I think you should still meet them.
And she tilts her head to the side. Why? I mean, like I said, I would be happy to.
I mean, they're all good people, but one of them is extremely useful in what he does, but he's a bit eccentric.
Okay.
It's a nice way to say crazy, isn't it?
No. Yeah, kind of.
Tried to wink, but it looked like a blink moment.
No, he's good. He's good people. He'll be fine. You'll like him.
I'm sure I will.
But in any case, first, back to the matters at hand, I guess.
And the server returns with kind of what looks to be, it's not so much a tankard, it looks like kind of part of a cooking utensil set of a small kind of wooden like half jug type thing. It says, will this suffice, monsieur?
Oh, that is
She has this
perfect.
kind of semi-horrified look on her face.
That is perfect. Oh, thank you so much. And he'll take it, and then he'll pour himself a cup or a container of it.
Be pleased.
So what kind of deal did you make in the Fae to have to drink wine out of a wooden cup?
Oh, right, y'all can't see my actual face. I'm sorry, I have to ask, do I know if I made a deal?
You do not. You have no memory of making a deal, but you also have a keen awareness that there are several kind of scene missing portions.
I think he gets... He starts like he's gonna make a joke, and then he kind of pauses for a second, and he's like, I don't think I made any kind of deal while I was there. I mean, I guess other than the one where I said I was gonna hunt for them, but I don't know. Some of it's a little hazy. Like, you know, they're like bits and pieces that are just not connecting.
Yeah,
But
the
no,
wild
I don't think I
ones.
mean...
Something else. You don't think you made any? You're not feeling any other side effects from it? Other than being, you know, old man scout now.
Old man.
Look at him graying. Starting to pop in.
Yeah, I'd say when Naira, like, at Uther's suggestion, looks closer, she'll notice like a little bit of like ever so slightly faded hairs at his lips and at the corners of his eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what exactly all that was, but I mean, it was nice though. Like, just being out and all that weird but beautiful nature, and just focusing on it. And actually, they caught the people I was hunting with. They taught me a thing or two, so I didn't come back empty-handed. And that wasn't a deal. Oh, sorry. Say that again.
I'm just glad you came back.
Oh, me too. I'm just... Well, I guess for y'all it wasn't as long, but... I'm just so sorry it took so long.
We're glad you're alive. Getting into the Fae, there's a decent chance you're never coming out. Because I imagine you did have quite a good time.
Did you try the apples?
The apples are delicious.
Yeah, the apples are great, but you know where it's at? Pears. They were some truly magical pears. Like, super, like, I could have stayed and just ate the pears forever.
And that's why you're an old bitch now, says Lorian.
Now, young man, you're not going to talk to your elders like that.
I will smack you so fucking hard with this metal pointy stick.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of us sitting here in like, oh, Wander's made of metal. Lorium's dressed head to toe in it. Valco is too.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. This hasn't been worrying me or distressing me since I got in this room.
I would say Lorium hugged you and Naira at the same time at the very beginning.
You absolutely got tackled.
Mm-hmm. And he ran really, really quickly to the room.
Can't see his health bar.
Oh no!
I don't actually think there's a... Yeah, boundary fuckery means there's actually nothing I can do about that right now.
Oh no.
About what,
We assume
sir?
there will be a bug fix soon.
You can tell us it's a bug, but we think it's a feature.
And I guess to be clear, it's not that like it doesn't it's not like it hurts me. It's just like well actually this might help, and he'll reach at his sides and he'll pull out 2 daggers, and as you look at them, you realize that they're not regular daggers. They're not like steel daggers. In fact, they almost look like they're wood, but it almost seems like they weren't carved into this shape. They were grown into that shape.
Massive thorn branch.
It's just like wearing metal and using metal is just really uncomfortable.
Huh.
Oh, well then I suppose... And she gets out your old dagger of pain. I suppose you don't want this back then. What about these? And she gets out your old thieves' tools.
I think these daggers will be fine, but I can probably make the thieves' tools work, and he'll hold out his hand.
Give me a
for
will
them.
save.
I knew it was coming.
Is he an ally? Does he get Lorium's bonus?
We'll find out on the next episode. Oh.
Ah!
Naira, do you kind of go to hand the tools to him?
She's handing them out, yeah.
The moment that the metal probe touches your fingers, your hand jerks back.
Oh, I thought you said it didn't hurt.
was kind of instinctual. I don't actually know what. Yeah, well, it doesn't hurt for long.
If he wanted to, he just brandishes his glaive.
We'll revisit that one later, Lorium.
Uther, you know how to do the minor illusions, right?
Well, yeah.
Can we just see if this will help? Can you make these look wood for me?
Sorry, you cut out. Can I make what?
The thieves' tools. Can you make these look like wooden tools?
Yes.
And then she'll try and hand him back over.
Roll again with advantage.
Ooh.
This time you are able to control the impulse. You do still know that they are metal, but sort of your senses are able to kind of overpower your knowledge and your instinctual reaction. And yeah, you can take the thieves' tools if you so choose.
Yeah, he'll take them and he'll just say, see? We made it work. And then he'll quickly put them into one of the pockets in his cloak. But if anybody else would like to use the that dagger, I just, as we can see, if I'm constantly dropping them, I don't know how useful I'll be.
Oh, thinking of Midnight's return and needing to change things' appearances. Who has that hat of disguise?
I do. Reaches into his bag.
We might need to give it to Midnight, actually. Lord Murdoch has started corresponding with me again. He is under the impression that you are dead.
You give me an insight check?
She was studying you.
Yeah, you watch, as you say Murdoch's name, he gets this intense, fire behind his eyes, and then when you say he was corresponding with you, there's a bit of fear, and then you watch him, take you in again, I don't know how to describe this. He's seeing you and how capable you are, and you watch that fear dissipate. And the worry kind of fade away. And he'll just look at her and say, well, it's probably good that he thinks I'm dead. But y'all are in contact?
What? She says with a smirk. You see, I wrote to him and explained that Bartrand had betrayed him, trying to convince me that he had betrayed me himself, but of course, I know better, being a good and loyal servant to Lord Murdoch. I have also proven myself quite an asset to him, being able to insinuate myself into several important courts that even he himself has had trouble getting an in with. So he is inclined to trust me and perhaps bring me close again. Which is good, because it's much easier to stab people when they let you close.
A big grin, like as you're talking, like his grin gets bigger and bigger, and he'll just say, "You and Hush would have gotten along so well."
I keep hearing about this Hush. I really do need to meet her at some point.
Yeah, she was interesting.
Awful. Took her forever to say anything.
Wander looks at the table.
The mimicry.
But to your point, yeah, this hat could be extremely helpful. I can add it to my and he'll get a little bit of a smirk, and then he'll say, I can add it to my bag of tricks. And then does anybody speak Primordial?
Hell no.
Nope.
Cool. There's probably like a jug of like water around, right? Maybe.
I mean, yeah, there are refreshments and the like that have been laid out on the table.
Yeah.
Is this something that I can see, or is it something that you're about to say?
It's something I'm about to say.
Okay.
Well, it is, though your methodology is different, it is still a spellcast.
Yeah. I just meant if they'll understand the words that I'm saying.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, he's gonna cast a spell. Eee.
So anybody who wishes can make an Arcana check.
Yep, and he's going to like cup his hand and pour some water in it, and bring his hand close and whisper something in Primordial, and then splash the water on his face. And as he does, as the water hits him, his form will start to change. And he will take on the appearance of a young half-orc gentleman.
It's Doc! Huh.
I told you, my goddess, the goddess of dreams. And
No.
but he will kind of, as the illusion takes place, do a bit of a ta-da, jazz hands.
See, now you're just showing off. You could have done that with the hat for free.
Since when can you do magic? Is that the trade you made in the Fae?
It was part of what they taught me to help while I was assisting him with the hunt. Yeah. I've got a couple of other, and he'll just get like a smirk. I've got a couple of other tricks up my sleeve, but this combined with the hat will allow me to get almost anywhere.
Yeah, Lauren, you kind of throw out your power and speak a word, and there is sort of this kind of concussion in the air, and you see kind of like, you know when you have like a paintbrush that's filled with water and you flick it, and it all sort of hangs in the air around it for a moment?
Yep.
There's that sort of impression of like water droplets sort of going poof, away from Midnight for a moment, and he resumes his normal appearance.
I'm sorry, but hearing that voice come out of that body was weird.
Well, first off, rude.
Or you could see it as me preferring you the way you are, but fine, fuck off.
Well, that's all fine and good, Lorian, but I'm sure we don't need people knowing that I'm alive.
Go on, put on the hat.
Oh, no, you prefer me in this form. Naira, you were saying?
Well,
Hell yeah.
actually, at this point, there is another knock at the door.
Midnight's hood goes up. Shoot!
Wander, a handy-dandy doorman.
There is a figure at the door. Wander, you do not recognize her. However, both Naira and Uther do. This is one of Lady Loretta's ladies in waiting. A minor noble from Vanya, who has become a part of that kingdom's diplomatic delegation in Perona. As you open the door, she sort of is startled a little bit by your appearance, not having encountered you before, but she very quickly kind of rallies as she seems to realize who you are. Looks around the room and goes into a deep curtsy, and says, my Lord Lionsbane, Lady Lionsbane, and gentlemen. Sorry, I understood that there were 4 of you. May I speak in front of your guest?
Yes,
Please.
feel free. We just look at each other.
Midnight will actually get up and give her the chair.
Oh, she goes, thank you, but I shall not intrude for long. I merely wished to extend an invitation to you. As I am sure you are all aware, there is to be the Stone Path Fete held tomorrow at the Summer Palace, and indeed throughout much of Perona. My lady has requested that before the commencement of the festivities, you attend her at the embassy. She will be at home to visitors from early in the morning tomorrow. So if you would be able to attend her after you have broken your fast, it would be most appreciated. And he seems to primarily be addressing you, Uther, having had the most contact with you since you were kind of leading the mediation.
I'll be sure to make our way quickly after we finish up here.
Thank you, my lord. We shall look forward to your visit and to attending the fete at your side.
Thank you for your dutiful work, as always.
It is, of course, a pleasure. My lady, gentlemen, she bows and backs out of the room.
I think Midnight is looking at Naira and Uther with like a raised eyebrow. I'm sorry. Wow, y'all really risen up in station here.
It's supposed to.
I mean, technically, they're just starting to now associate me with my actual already having ranking. But yes, it was quite a rise from unknown to being a lord. How have you been enjoying it, Naira? Not being a lord. I'm the lord.
1 charisma.
What an Uther thing to say. I think she's still away there. Oh!
Yeah.
Well, I've been mostly studying, so it's felt much like being a student. But the teas have been lovely.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Yeah.
Huh, wow.
Nope. She's very lonely. You get a sense of sadness or just regret.
You'd probably notice that Midnight just kind of stares at you for just a little bit too long, and then, but he mental note of that, just not going to bring it up in front of everybody. Well, I'm really glad that y'all have done so well for yourselves, and I'm glad that y'all are able to help so much. So, does this mean we're going to a ball?
Something like that. Looks over at Uther.
I'm never exactly sure. That's why I just always dress in a tuxedo.
Well, a fete is more. Well, it's more a daytime activity. Probably more the equivalent of like a garden party, meaning a carnival with light socializing. There might be dancing, but
A gala?
I don't know how to explain it. Sort of, but a gala, yes. Yeah.
Wow, I really
Nah.
have been in the city too long.
There's gonna be dance.
As
You've
Naira's
only
speaking,
been back in the city for a few days, right?
Exactly, too long. I need to go back.
Well, I appreciate you coming back too.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody again. You were saying? Looks over at Midnight.
Oh, he just got a smile on his face, and he just says, I've missed having you around, Dreamer.
I've missed you too.
And then he'll take a swig of container wine, and I'm gonna make a deception check to hide my grimace.
$14. That means it's possible. Not probable.
There's a chance.
Damn it! That's so fitting. Everybody
And
play Lorium.
At this point, Naira is just going to lean over, pick up the wine bottle, hand it to you, and say, seriously, no shame, the door's closed.
Oh, thank God. Whoop, swig. Is it, what time of day is it?
It is kind of mid-afternoon-ish at this point, probably at like maybe 3 or 4 p.m.
Cool.
Well,
Okay.
Garden party, then?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, I was gonna go find one. We could prep everyone.
Oh, fair. This is Corona.
Well, if y'all ain't got nothing else planned for today, you can go meet my buddies. If
Oh,
you like.
okay.
What? Go ahead.
Nothing, sorry, I was responding to something, never mind.
You guys can go meet my buddies, and they'll look towards Uther and decide whether or not to hire him. If you want. They're in town until we're finished up.
That sounds rather nice. We can do that. Meet those guys. I feel like we're gonna be leaving here in not too long. Maybe go see spectacle.
Every day with the usual
Well,
spectacle.
He smiles at that.
Sorry, Christine, we talked at the same time. Go on.
It's all right. I was just going to say, I think we are getting ready to go help Wander because the library, and I haven't forgotten my promise. Oh, and Naira sort of has a thought, and she looks at Midnight and she goes, "Midnight, I think actually, I have a traveling. Hold on!" And she looks through her bag and she produces a wooden tankard.
Oh no.
And so it resumes.
I feel like I remember this tankard. Is it the one that I'm thinking of?
I think you at least have to roll a history check.
Yeah, for you it's been a lot longer.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
For you.
Manji head ass.
Ah!
Oh, damn.
Probably enough, yeah.
Can I at least roll a deception or something?
I'll allow it. Yeah, yeah.
Can I do an insight on that? I suppose yes.
That interaction is just. Is that the. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Different one.
I don't think so.
Damn it! His
Oh.
insight's better than Wander's.
Well, if it's a competition.
Everything is.
He'll he'll see, like, he'll look at it and say, "Oh yeah, that is perfect," and reach out for it and pour some wine in it.
I assume I'm gonna fall for that, but let's find out. You want to roll a deception?
Sure.
Nah, one.
Yeah. She tries to get you to toast. I assume you don't.
No, he does. He toasts. And then goes to drink it, and then I guess I'm gonna make a performance check.
Just smack your lips real loud.
No, he's gonna go and do a spit take all over Lorium.
Ah!
Oh man, I totally forgot about that.
I swear to God. All of them.
Just the glaive starts shaking in his hand.
It's not his hand, it's strapped to his back now, but yes, it starts shaking.
Yes, it starts shaking anyway. We should ding 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 ding, and we're like, "What's that?"
Can I hellish rebuke that? No, I'm kidding.
Do you take damage from water?
Yes. Now.
Yes, he's a witch.
No. He just wipes it off and says, "You piece of shit."
Well, I probably wouldn't have done that if I still had my disguise up.
I'm gonna smack you. I'm gonna smack him, Wander.
Down. He's just watching all of this happily. It's hard to tell with even fewer features that he has now.
Oh.
He blinks
but
and for a
he-
second you think he just died.
He will. Midnight will turn to Naira and say, "Thank you. Is it all right if I keep this and use it?"
Of course.
Awesome. And he just looks really content.
Well, forgive me. I know it's still quite early, but we all have a very busy day tomorrow, and so I'm gonna go to bed. It's great seeing you with that, and I'm so happy to see everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Is she going
Actually,
to bed?
can I walk you up?
It's okay. I know where the room is.
Fucking
I don't.
Were you trying to insight check her, Water?
Perhaps. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I should. I feel like it's worth a check.
You're welcome to check.
I'm gonna.
Naira has disappeared, so one sec.
Oh, she's vanished. She went up the stairs and now she's gone.
I was so close to a net one. My god.
She is very tired and is off to bed.
So it would seem.
Well, damn.
Alright. Serious question. What's going on with her?
Lorem just shrugs. Like she said, I've been gone for the better part of 2 months.
She's been spending a lot of time doing retraining. Going through the library with all the access she's wanted. And I've been dealing with rooms full of politicians and lords that had sons murdered and the like, and try and pound them into working a deal together that'll stop any war that isn't one that is something they have to go over about.
Yeah, no, I get that all, but I don't know. She just seems a tad lonely to me.
Well, we have all been either gone or kind of busy.
And we are not smart.
That is true.
Lorem just looks around
Yeah,
the room
no.
and is like, God damn it, you're right.
Yeah, no, like, I'm pretty sure the IQ in this room just plummeted a whole lot.
What's IQ?
Oh, we'll talk about that when you're older, Wonder.
It's the idiot quiz.
Well, maybe all of us being back and around each other will help mitigate some of that. But it is really good to see y'all.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, as he just flicks the water back at you from his hand.
He starts openly laughing, and I think probably Uther would. It's very familiar to how, like, prankstery some of the creatures in the Feywild are. The, like, air about him he has.
As he would just kind of continue this smile and go, well, at least it seems like you're your old self, Scout.
Yeah, I mean, the one good thing about being gone so long is I was able to work through some of my shit.
However,
Time
yeah,
has a way of
it-
doing that.
What was that, Lorian?
oh no, I didn't hear it. Even what I said, we all spoke at the same time there. That moment of silence. he would have just said, "How are them kids all doing?" Before and
Oh,
after
they're
the donation. And he looks at Wander.
they're doing great now. I mean, after the donation, they've got they're gonna go clothes shopping. They're getting some new books for Leah so she can continue her her magic training. I did take some of it and purchased a really nice nice cloak for Sweet Pea, and she's been fucking hiding in dark corners and stuff, scaring the crap out of Ajax. It's been kind of nice, actually.
You're teaching him well, then. But, unless y'all want to do anything else for the day, should we just go about business, or what should we do?
Well,
We are in the middle of
I
a
guess-
whelp.
Dude, this really is a whelp smack sneeze.
Well, I mean, I guess we could all go about our business, and then reconvene tomorrow to meet your people and go to this fete.
Well, I was kind of intending for that to be before we all went to sleep, seeing as how might have a meeting early. Wait, nobles sleep in early or late as shit, don't they? He looks at Uther.
Do like to lounge in the morning, take their time to wake up. It's rather refreshing.
All right, yeah, maybe we got time then.
You would actually know Uther from the time that you have spent in her company. Lady Loretta is a fairly industrious person and typically does rise quite early to, especially recently, as she's been engaged in the very intense negotiation work for the Accords, and like is habitually up, at dawn, beginning her correspondence.
Go then. Well, she did request me. I should probably go speak with her.
Man, we could do it after, it's fine. Or sometime in the day. I'll go give them lodging funds. I feel kind of bad that they're just waiting on us. You tell me how much that's going to come out of my pocket.
You start feeling your pockets, and Water just looks at the chest on the table like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
Oh yeah, she didn't even take any. Yoink.
Do you take the chest, or do
there
you take some
are
gold?
in the chest. There is 2,200 gold pieces.
2,300. I took the second 100 from my own sheet.
Oh, okay, fair enough. 2,300 indeed. Gold pieces, as well as I assume you've taken the components and the like and just sort of have them on your person.
Yes.
Fair enough. What about the diamond?
Well, the components were for Hallow, and those are gone.
Yeah.
And the diamond, I am definitely that's mine.
Okay. Then yeah, there are there's the gold.
So split that up amongst... He just looks up at midnight. Sure, 5. I'm not good with math. He looks over to Uther.
You really think I'm going to be doing math?
By 4, I used mine.
Naira's still wearing her earpiece.
You think any of us are smart enough to realize that?
Midnight will reach up to his ear. Oh, wait.
Yeah, Loyam reaches up to his earpiece.
Nara, how much is 2,300 divided by 4?
Boss, how much is 2,300 divided by 4?
575.
Thanks, Sweet Pea. He goes back.
He calls her Sweet Pea.
Only sometimes does he give Naira a nickname other than Boss.
A nickname other than Boss.
Well.
So, what is everybody doing with
Sounds
this
like-
newfound knowledge?
Sounds like the gold's being divvied up. Does Lorium lie about the amount?
No. No, he says the proper amount.
Tyler insight checks Cole.
575 gold, everybody.
Then I imagine Uther takes 2 shares.
Yes.
Well, are y'all sure I should take some of this? I mean, I didn't really have anything to do with what... Y'all said y'all got paid for something?
You're just gonna
Can you
slowly
take any of
start
it? Sorry, I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering.
I was going to say,
Yes!
so as you're divvying it up, like, do you kind of just hand a couple of, like, the handfuls over to Midnight?
Yeah, he places
Yes.
it on the table in front of him.
Midnight, what do you do?
Cry to myself? Hold on. I wrap my arm in my cloak and scoot the metal over to the edge of the table, and I pull out my coin purse and like start knocking them in.
You have been cursed to forever poor.
Lerm is just watching this with great satisfaction. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Fucking Feywild metal.
Drops a couple and he's like, fuck it, whatever, forget it.
I don't need it.
I don't need it.
I was poor before I can be poor again.
Okay, and you, I'll take it.
Stomps on your hand.
Ow. But yeah,
you
I
stomped
will
on his, but okay.
hilariously, put coins in a pouch.
Okay. You are somewhat like, as you sort of shoulder your pack again, because, this is 575 gold is, like, that's a fairly big, like, physical chunk of change. So it doesn't exactly fit in your coin purse, so you had to sort of, like, scoop it into your pack. As it sort of settles on your shoulders, you're sort of uncomfortable with this sort of weight and presence of it. But you're able to sort of settle it on your shoulders, and it's a little bit sort of weird, but you're good.
Sorry, I'm just coming to the internal realization that, like, my rogue can't touch money.
Or any sort of metal
Unless-
shinies.
Unless we get you a set of gloves of thievery. Imagine the possibilities.
Yeah, just wear gloves. But yes, those are the most fun gloves for a rogue, holy shit.
Just above the table for my note taking. Am I still managing your purse, Uther? Should I make note that you got 575 gold?
Yes.
Oh, this dynamic.
I love. She could just rob you, and you'd have no idea.
So,
She already
Gold
did. She stole
split
his
up.
heart.
the the gold has been divvied up. Midnight has begun to increasingly come to terms with his new reality. Is there anything else that the group wishes to do with their day?
I don't want to have them meet if Naira's not there, so... Well, Lauren would probably head back to them and just be like, alright, just wait a little bit longer. Boss is kind of getting ready. We got some meetings to go through tomorrow. And he'd give them gold for, like, the stay, so... However much that would be.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I mean, they're staying in sort of like a essentially common tavern. So, like, 2 gold will get them their like meals and rooms for the night.
Has enough time passed that I could have attuned to the Hat of Disguise?
Yeah, I'll say you guys have been sitting and talking for a while, so you could have used that time to sort of feel it out.
Cool. Midnight is going to put it on, take on the form of that half-orc, and then go out and buy some gloves.
Spell magic. I'm kidding.
Just let me know how much that'll run me.
Well, a set of like basic, just kind of leather gloves. They are a fairly like complex and difficult thing to craft in medieval times. Sewing machines not existing yet, so they wouldn't be expensive, but like they wouldn't be cheap, but they also wouldn't be comparatively expensive. So like 3 or 4 gold, and you could get a fairly nice pair, but as you are kind of out and about and sort of examining them, you don't think that this will be a solution in and of itself. It might be better wearing gloves, but the idea, like, it's kind of like an arachnophobe holding a spider in their hand. Even if they have a glove on, they're still going to be wanting to jerk their hand away.
Yeah. I will still buy the gloves, because maybe it'll put the others at ease about it. But, it just takes me about 10 minutes longer to go through this purchase, because it takes me probably that long to get 3 coins out of my pouch.
You sort of have to just hold open the pouches, like, just take it out of there.
He takes 30
Just
coins.
reach in.
I'm sorry, I just have a thing about germs, and money is so dirty, but you know what, take 4, since I just explained that. Fuck.
Like, calm down, certain. Merci, monsieur.
Yeah, and then he'll make his way back and find a room.
Okay. Given that you are a guest of the Honored Guest, the Alliance of the Harashan Coast, a room is certainly made available to you at the Exquisite Blush. Is there anything else anybody wants to get done, or are you settling in for the night?
The auntie did not wish to speak to me today, correct?
Correct. She requested that you you don't know if you would be unwelcome if you showed up. Like, you guys have been in almost daily contact for weeks now, so there have certainly been times where you have, like, just sort of needed to talk to her and gone to find her, kind of thing. So, like, you don't know if you would be unwelcome, but yeah, the invitation was specifically for tomorrow morning.
Okay, just double checking. And then Uther would just say, well, good night, everyone. And he would then look behind him as you watch him trust fall towards the floor, as he would aim up for the bed on the room, not on the side that Naira sleeps on. And he would dimension door.
Show off.
So Uther, just kind of like a diver going backwards off a boat, goes, rolls over the back of the couch and just kind of, like the bad guy in Last Action Hero, just falls through the wall.
Wait, does Wander have his own room here?
I mean, no.
Is he still staying with the room?
I think Naira and Uther are the only ones who actually have a room.
Like the rest of you, like Lorium, you have had like a room provided to you as a member of the party whenever you show up. But yeah, like you don't have a suite kind of made available for you in the same way that they do, because they've basically been in the city the whole time. But yes, you do. Like you would certainly, for the last few days since you got back into town, have a room here that you were using.
Was Wander staying with him, or was he in his own room?
I don't want to sleep here.
Oh, you sleep outside.
I hear things in here.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't know what you hear.
I know exactly what I hear. I hear very well.
His insight's also really high.
That's
Like,
what
come
he
on.
hears.
He's learned a lot more than we know.
You hear people making friends.
It's like, I don't want those kinds of friends.
Thanks, Hank Hill.
Well,
Sometimes 3 or 4 friends at once. Anyway,
Wander's gonna sleep outside.
okay.
Wander's gonna give Lorian his things and he's gonna dive into a river.
I mean, this is Perona. There are certainly plenty of them about. But in your various manners, you pass the evening, settle down for the night, and each go off to sleep, knowing that the next day you are expected to attend Lady Loretta's at the embassy, and then have the Stone Path Fate itself to look forward to. And I think this is a fine point for us to take a really quick break. I am going to refresh my drink, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
yay!
Yay!
If you don't,
Yay!
if you don't mind, I'm gonna take the boy out real quick.
But I want to stay inside.
I'm gonna take the puppy out.
Got it. Okay, yeah, no worries.
But please, Papa, I simply wish to stay inside and keep playing.
God damn it, Tyler. I do too, buddy.
Drinky time.
I just gotta see if this works.
That sounds like something straight out of Bloodborne. Black Fang Gunblade.
I'm just gonna see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Nice.
That's rough. That's really rough.
And then, but I gotta. Let's see if it does what it's supposed to do with this. Why do I have 2 identifies on here?
Why
I
not?
shouldn't. Fuck it, we'll do Scorching Ray. Why not?
Is that going to be the first time that spell's been cast in this campaign?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it works. Okay, fuck, that's awesome.
Nice.
It's I was testing it because it's a homebrew that I made in D&D Beyond, and it's supposed to give me both the benefits of my old rapier and my wand, my blaster. So
Very
I was just
nice.
like, is that actually gonna work? And it looks like it does.
Yeah, you have big change-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently selecting spells, so we'll probably take a drink break immediately after I finish this. So if I'm not here and he calls for roll call, please don't rat me out to the teacher.
Silence.
Yep.
Isn't that what you want?
Yes, we aren't snitches around here.
See, your problem was you said teacher, and while I'm not a snitch, I am a teacher's pet.
I will give Midnight 5 gold in a bag.
In his face.
I will throw it at him. I will melt it down, and I will place it directly into his hands.
No, the fun part about this is Andrew brought that to me, was like, this is what I was thinking. I was like, oh, that's really fun. I did not think about all the things that were going to be metal.
You can't pickpocket anyone.
I mean, I can, as long as it's not metal.
Yeah, and then what are they going to be carrying in their pockets?
Oh my god. I go to pickpocket someone and my hand immediately, like, jerks. Like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to feel you up. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just trying to cop a feel. Is that better than what I was actually doing? I don't know.
Well, that was an interesting moment to come back to.
I have no explanation. I accept my
Tyler
fate.
just turns and runs.
you just hear.
just runs off into the darkness.
Speaking of running off into the darkness.
Wow, he genuinely did, I guess, just run off into the darkness.
I'm like torn because like part of me wants us to get in combat so I can see how everybody's new cool shit, but also I don't know if I'm ready for combat.
Well, this might be a bad time to mention this, but my plan was that for the rest of the entire campaign was just going to be a, like, sort of rather dull political review of the intricacies of the Accord, so buckle up.
Are you telling me
I can
it's going to be
manage.
like...
Ever.
Heard and understood.
I just got back. I heard buckle up.
Well, you did wear the saddle for a while, so...
God damn it. He was carrying it, not wearing it. It was for the party.
What are we going to tell you somebody?
My back. Is anybody else missing?
I think so. Is everybody here?
I'm here.
Yep.
Present.
Christine, we good to go?
Yep.
Huzzah!
Cool.
By the way, did we learn anything about those Fey mushrooms?
Oh, you would certainly have had a chance to study them. Go ahead and roll me a Arcana check, with advantage, since you've been able to take your time on it. And actually, well, if you'd be willing to sacrifice some of the samples for testing, you could essentially have taken 20. And you could just tell me what you would have got, what your Arcana would be with a 20, or you can try. Okay, so I assume you're willing to like sacrifice.
Yeah, she
one of
just
each
got them for
type?
testing, so yeah, that's
Fair
fine.
enough.
And I got 9 samples of each, so.
Fair enough. So the first, glowcap mushrooms. In fact, well, you know what? I am just going to post the full effects, the full text regarding the mushrooms, in the general chat. Oh, 1 second. But it is actually too long for Discord, so it will come in 2 sets.
Oh my.
There we go.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
So I've got like, I just have to eat them. I have like Alice in Wonderland cookies.
More or less. Although not all of them need to be eaten. The puffball mushrooms, for example, you're not entirely certain what would happen if you were to eat one, but you imagine it would be interesting, if nothing else.
We need a solace.
So the shimmering mushrooms, right? That invis, does that end if you attack something?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, well, I'll shut the fuck up for a while if it means I get to stay invisible.
My god, I'm just imagining like an invisible Lorium going absolutely ham.
And then speaking in wind chime after.
Yeah, he just starts laughing and you just hear diddling, diddling, diddling. That would actually be terrifying. Holy shit.
I know, right?
Just you're in the middle of the woods and you just hear the sound of chimes.
Your
Oh my
friends are
god,
exploding.
He's coming!
I can smell you.
I'm creeping around right now.
What's going on here? Seems like you have something to hide. Fucking Mickey Mouse Southern accent.
Oh my god.
Well, hey there, Renee. Oh, I just realized something about the next scene.
Not enough enemies, huh?
Fix this. And add a 0 to that.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
Actually, I have a question just for the general table, because I wasn't sure how this interacted. So, like, as a Gloomstalker, if I'm in darkness and you use dark vision, you can't see me. Does Devil Sight interact with that any?
I think Devil Sight counts as dark vision.
It does.
So you better
that's
stay
fine.
the fuck away from me.
Oh, because you have blind sight, don't you?
No, I
no,
am
he is
literally carrying a
continually
torch.
emitting light.
Yep.
Oh, well, as long as I'm in your shadow, I'm fine. Or somebody's shadow that's near you.
And maybe don't stand right behind me. I tend to run as far as I can, as fast as I can. Because the others can run so much faster. And so much farther.
I can't.
You can teleport. That's running, but with extra steps.
Actually, less steps because I don't move.
And just one more crit life transference. I'm gonna just put in the memory banks.
No.
I'll just do it for no reason now. You'll be like, man, my chest kind of hurts, and then Wonder will just drop dead.
Oh, Christ, I was eating ice cream.
Wait, you might say, are you saying your chest hurts?
You were having Christ cream?
Oh, I'm having a crisis cream.
But we haven't even gotten to the boss fight yet.
It's a political boss fight. I don't want it.
And it's gonna absolutely rock our shit.
Anyway, the following day, you all awaken in your rooms in the Exquisite Blush. Are able to come down, and yeah, anybody who needs to can take a long rest if they so desire.
Thanks.
Midnight. What form are you utilizing the Hat of Disguise to take?
It's probably someone who would look like a, like I was around Lord Murdoch's people enough to know what, like, attendance would look like. He would try to make himself look like some sort of, attendant.
A noble page
For-
kind of thing.
Yeah, for the Lord and the Lady. But he will be, it'll be a half-elf form.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we will assume, unless otherwise stated, that you are in that is something that you are just kind of doing as a matter of routine whenever you are around other people. And so, you are able to awaken. The luxuries of the Exquisite Blush are at your disposal for a opulent breakfast. What is it that you wish to do first with your day?
Can I get a re-import real quick?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. So once we all meet up, it's party time.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, yeah, Lauren would just wait downstairs for everybody. After gathering up all of his shit.
When midnight comes down, he's in the half elf form, and he'll just walk up and uncomfortably stand next, like, close to Lorium.
Give me a wisdom save.
Just a
Oh, because he's, like, full of metal and stuff.
He is clad in full plate.
The only person more metal than Lorium is Wander.
Rock on, brother.
Yeah, no, you are, like, uncomfortable. You are standing at arm's length from Lorium.
I assume, like, you walk over, then you just sort of scooch.
Sort of grimaces and takes a step back.
I'm sorry, sir. Can I help you? Do I stink or something?
No, I can't. I'm sorry. No, it's me. I just forgot how much fucking metal you wear. Jesus. Or indiscriminate half god.
Since we're breaking the meta, he holds up his 2 fingers and just says, "Rock on, brother." As Tyler just said. No, he would just be like, "Good," because I was about to punch your ass, and I would just want 2 more.
But I think for the time being, I will assume this form just to keep eyes off me.
Would it just be Murdoch? He would just sort of whisper over to you?
Well, mainly if Nara, or if Dreamer is playing the game that I think she's playing, it's best for her not to be seen in the company of somebody who's supposed to be dead.
He would just nod and continue to wait. I'm just gonna assume that Uther and I are the last ones to come out.
If they ever come out.
Most likely, yes. But eventually, Lord and Lady Lionsbane will be able to come down and join the rest of you. And so, you have an invitation to attend Lady Loretta at the embassy, which stands in the grounds of the palace. Lorium, you also have your companions that are in one of the more common, shall we say, taverns that is on the Ile d'Art. But they have kind of given their very easily fallen back into their not subservient, but kind of
hurry up and wait.
Yeah, that militaristic sort of thing of just like, cool, well, we're where our commander told us to be, so we will remain here until further orders. We have been paid, there is wine available, we're golden.
Fair. Yeah, when everybody comes out, he would just say, where to first?
I think we should make our way to go see Lady Loretta.
I agree, but where are your friends? If they're on the way, I would love to meet them.
Are they on the way?
Or less. It would be a little bit of a detour, but not a huge one.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe, give or take.
Just a small step out of the way if you're trying to take a straight shot over towards the palace, but yeah, we can meet him if you want.
Yeah,
let's do it.
You said you wanted me to, yeah?
Yeah, I think
I'd like to meet this colorful character you're nervous about. Honestly, though, the bar is on the floor. All I'm asking is for people who were not part of the team who kidnapped and tortured me to death.
Oh no, you're gonna absolutely love at least 3 of them. At least 2 of them.
Wait, y'all kept them around?
I mean...
Yes, for a while. She says with a smile.
I will assume, by the way, Lorium, that as part of this process, you released Paul and the other chap from their contract with you, and they have, disappeared off into Perona, unless
the moment
at the bottom of the river
into the bay.
The moment that we came back, initially, because she would have been here for a while, and Lorium had gotten here like a week or 2 ago. The moment he came back and mentioned it to Naira in particular, and she gave the go-ahead for a meeting with them, yeah, he would have gone and met Paul and Jaden and released them, but also given them a final little, because damn, been paid in a while, a final little pick me up, like, hey.
A severance
Keep your noses clean.
He looks over his shoulder as he's saying it. He's like, all right, just don't run into any tabaxis, all right?
That's what I was going to say. The actual thing you need to warn them about is if Naira comes when no one else is around.
He's like, just steer clear of any tabaxis. And try to do better. But even though it's a very hell of a distance away, he would give them, since they haven't really done... They were a part of that, and I get it. Since then, they haven't done anything, obviously, to fuck with us. He would give them the same option to go all the way back east and speak with his dad. if they wanted a more subtle living life.
Fair enough.
But
Okay.
he would have given them 50 gold.
They thank you for sparing them and being their patron for as long as you have. It has been a pleasure crewing your vessel. And yeah, they both kind of pocket the gold and disappear off into the alleyways of Perona. You're not certain if they will take you up on your offer of a more peaceful life. Knowing what you know about mercenaries and soldiers, you find it more likely that they're going to go on a couple week-long bender and then find someone else who's willing to pay them
But yeah,
to carry swords.
they wouldn't be there or manning the boat anymore, but whatever dock fees needed to be paid for the next 2 weeks, he would have just given them to the dockmaster.
The Depato is given much as yourselves, is basically in a position of honor. The docks at which it is docked, or the key at which it is docked, is under the control of the palace, as is ostensibly the entire city. But yeah, there are, given your current status in the city, there are no fees associated with its presence on the docks.
Huzzah!
So, for her part in the morning, Naira obviously casts her unseen servant to get her pretty, and while that's happening, she sits there with her book and sort of goes through and, goes, oh, this one's nice, and sort of puts her hand on it and starts infusing it with magic, and then flips around to another one, and she's like, oh, that'll be fun, preparing her spells for the day.
She prepares spells like she's looking through a pamphlet. I love it.
Yeah, she's picking them from a catalog.
And that's because the panic of not picking the right spell hasn't quite set in yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Give us 3 weeks when we're deep underground after fighting 17 different encounters, and we're on our 4th long rest. And she's like, God, do I heal? Do I damage? What I do?
I don't have any heal spells.
It's like, oh, I damage. That's a very easy choice.
God, do I damage single target or multi-target? I don't know.
Almost all of them are AoE.
Oh no healing anymore.
God, do I kill the party or the enemies? I don't know.
But yeah, I guess we head over to that.
Cool.
And
You head over to the tavern where Hammer let you know that the group had been able to find lodgings since their arrival in the city. There are not proper tokens for these individuals yet, because foundry fuckery. However,
squares. Love it.
However, yes, upon your arrival, you do find them all awake and chatting about their time in the line. What was your company called again?
The Firemains.
Fireman, that's the one. Thank you. Their time in the Firemains. From what you've gathered, they had, much as you expected, been scattered after the breakup of the company, and it seems that this is the first time, actually, that they've all kind of been back together since you were last with them all. And they seem like when you arrive, they're very kind of happily just sort of swapping stories, talking of other members of the company that they've heard about and stuff like that. And what was their... they referred to you as boss, correct?
Yes.
And so to the rest of you, it's somewhat incongruous when you enter into the courtyard of the tavern and... from this eclectic group that is sitting at one of the tables, apparently the eldest of the group, a fairly burly man in battered but highly functional armor, stands up, kind of using a warhammer that's leaning against the table as kind of a lever to get up. He goes, "Boss, it's good to see you again. Are these the companions you talked of?"
Does Naira turn to look when he says boss?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I was about to say, yeah, what probably happens is Naira does something and feels really foolish where he's boss, and it's, we're already so in... Oh, Oh, you weren't talking about... Okay. And now she's just like, well,
and
fuck.
He actually kind of pauses, and then looks at Lorium and looks at Naira and grins and goes, "Oh, right, yeah. Well, I suppose you'll be boss now, won't you? Barco, you can call me Hammer."
Hammer? Oh, lovely to meet you, Hammer. And she sort of very easily slips into a much more casual demeanor. And by the way, the outfit she is currently wearing as we go looks very much like good, but like common clothes. It's not sparkly. It's not. It's just leather trousers, a nice sort of leather jacket kind of thing. She looks good, but she looks like she fits in here. And she. It's a real pleasure to meet you. I mean, any friend and she gestures to Lorium, and she's about to say Lorium, and then she sort of smiles and goes, "Boss," is a friend of mine.
He actually gets what can only be described as a shit-eating grin on his face. And he goes, "Well, I don't know if that qualifies anymore. Eye patch."
Cyclops?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that laugh was canon from Midnight.
I think you'd still be calling me by name at the very least.
He sort of shrugs and he goes, as you say. To be honest, I kind of forgot boss wasn't your name, but as you say. Anyway, well, do you want to do the intros or should I?
He can be big boss, and I'll just be boss.
No!
No, we know how that ends. We know how that ends.
No!
But I can do character introductions if you'd like.
Yeah, please describe kind of the rest of this small group, and yeah, like Lorium can certainly give the in-character introductions.
What do their voices sound like?
That's a good question. But Lorium would say, "Yes, this big burly son of a bitch is, as he says, I call him Hammer, but his name's Barca. And then we have Shala over here, and it would be the hooded woman with short brown hair. Judging by her clothes, seems like a spellcaster. And occasionally you see a little fellow off to her left, just seemingly getting interested in something else and attempting to walk away, and then she just tugs him back. And Leon, this, well, I call him Biggs. You can see why. To that, you'd see a short...
He kind of grins and goes, "Oh, now, I told you that in confidence."
Damn it.
I'm so confused about what we're talking about now.
There are many innuendos. He would be a short, tanned halfling that at first glance looks honestly like a small human child. And he's wearing a heavy cloak, and beneath it you'd see he has a bow and several weapons. Seems kind of aloof. He's curious about all of you. Keeps looking to each and every one of your faces, but then just as quickly looking at something else off in the tavern, and then tries to walk off and gets getting pulled back. And this fine fellow, Samson, I call him Tinks. He's actually the one that made that funny quiver I told you about once, Scout. And that would be a ragtag-looking, unkempt half-elf. Seems to be, like, same sort of curiosity to everybody, but whereas Leon's is very soft, slow-moving, methodical towards each and every one, his is, like, eccentric, like, very spastic. And hanging from his belt and straps of his leather armor is several sets of tools and alchemical vials. And
as you guys are watching, he actually he has a tankard on the table in front of him, and kind of is has a couple of little vials lined up next to it, and is putting like a drop of from one at a time into the tankard and taking an experimental sip.
Well, I told you about that. You're gonna end up poisoning yourself again. And as he takes a sip from the tankard, you notice that his left middle finger and his right pinky are missing. That's it. That's a crew.
And Naira will, happily meet them all and basically say, "So how is it you all know Lorian?"
And Shola actually kind of smiles somewhat sort of fondly as she stands and sort of gives a little sort of half nod, half bow of greeting to the group, and she goes, "He was a most able commander. He cared for his troops as few did. And so we learned to follow him. He usually led us to places worthwhile."
There are caves, bandit camps, manticore nests. Scratches his eye patch.
Well, that does sound like Lorian. You'll have to tell us about some of these stories.
Samson goes, "To be fair, I made a wicked poison out of that stuff. Lasted us for weeks. You remember how purple that one guy went when he took a bite?"
You weren't supposed to put it in the bread.
Oh yeah, but it was funny.
He just chuckles.
Actually, when he starts saying that, Midnight is going to step up for a second and just say, "So do you do stuff with poisons and stuff like that?"
I mean, not always intentionally, but pretty often, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna reach into his bag and pull out a small vial of the hallucinogenic poison that I made out of those mushrooms and hand it to Samson.
He kind of uncorks it and looks like he's about to take a swig until Shola puts her hand on him and goes, "I don't believe that was his intent." He goes, "Oh, it's a poison, huh?"
Well, yes and no. It has the mushrooms that I made these from. Let's just say when you ate them, you went on quite the trip.
So, are we talking seeing God in person or just in my head?
Midnight will turn towards Uther and Naira. I don't really know how to answer that. What about you two?
Just in your head?
Sweet then. Maybe another day though. And he pops into his pouch. Barco, for his part, kind of chuckles and says, "Oh, well, it's pleasure to meet you, boss, as they say. I suppose you must be the Lions of the Harashan Coast. The town's been in quite an uproar since we arrived. We could barely avoid hearing about you."
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I should probably introduce y'all to them, too. And he points out, this is Wander. He goes by Shield by me. This is Midnight. He goes by Fuckface. I'm kidding. He's Scout now. And he kind of grimaces when he says that.
Everybody else, give me an insight check.
What?
I'd be surprised if anybody remembered this.
Insight is what we're looking at? No.
Although, actually, also you can also give me a history check.
Oh, it's perfect that Midnight remembers. Or sees.
I mean, I'm gonna go for history. History's way better.
Oh.
That was so
better.
close to being
Feel
an
better.
18.
So yeah, probably. Well, actually, honestly, probably Uther, Wander, and Midnight all kind of notice something as you introduce Midnight as scout.
Yep.
So Lauren, what did they see?
Probably a look of what's the word? Recognition? Like, yeah, recognition in their faces, but then a little bit of confusion. And Shala, Leon is probably staring directly at you, just completely blank-faced, and Shala is probably looking a little sad.
I think when Midnight notices that, he'll just say, "Yeah, sorry. I've heard that this is a pretty big shoes to fill for that name. If you prefer, you can just say, 'Hey, you,' and I'll respond."
Well, if Big Boss says you're scout, you're scout. Anyway, well.
He does also go by Midnight.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Well, boss, Big Boss, well.
Why did you call him Uncle Boss?
Don't.
And you actually just see Barco kind of pause for a moment, and then just sort of this hidden glee spreads across his face as he just goes, I mean, orders is orders.
Just a hand up to his
Myra
face.
just wicked grin. Oh, I'm gonna like you guys a lot.
He just puts a hand up to his face and is like, "This was a mistake," but he's smiling underneath.
So, boss, Uncle Boss, and then he actually kind of stands to a very straight attention, like a very obvious militaristic bearing snapping into place, as he goes, "The Fireman Company stands at your command."
Glad to have you. Oh, by
Where do
the
you
way,
want us?
this is
Honored.
Uther and Nara, aka Boss and Devil.
Huh. Well, where do you want us? What can we do?
Please report to our boat, the Despacito. That's right,
Oh, fuck. I dropped shit.
I
Despacito.
know. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right.
It's in the vehicle's Depato.
Depato, that's it. That's close to Despacito. I like that way better.
That's a great name for a
That was
ship.
great. It's a party ship.
Yeah. Please report.
It
to
is
our
now.
ship, Depato.
Right. We'll have it ready for launch whenever you need it.
And just so we get this out of the way, because sometimes we do disappear for a little bit, you're starting pay for a little bit of fun out in town if you need, or anything you need on the boat. And he would give him 50 gold total.
Naira would stop you
Nah!
and pull that out of party funds.
Barco kind of takes the purse and sort of feels it in his hand, looks inside, and gets this big grin on his face and goes, "Well, you certainly have gone up in the world. Better paymasters than the Confederation ever were."
Just a bit.
Oh, speaking on the fact that we sometimes disappear for a while, and he'll kind of indicate towards Wander and say, don't be alarmed if you hear his voice in your head. At some point, just giving you an update on where we are.
Oh yeah, Shield, he does that.
He just nods.
And by the way, is that I assume that would be a good monthly rate for your team?
He sort of looks down at the purse and kind of thinks for a moment and goes, aye, certainly. Well, especially if it comes with a berth. Certainly.
Great. Well, we'll call that starting rate. We'll renegotiate in a little while. And nods and shakes his hand.
He shakes, kind of looks a little taken aback for a moment, and then shakes your hand, and then seems to much more naturally go into a salute. That he sort of passes, like you see he kind of salutes, and then sort of seems to hesitate for a moment as to whether to direct it to you or Lorium.
He just nods
before.
his head over.
And she looks at him and goes, "To be fair, I don't think I've ever been saluted before."
And he looks over at Lorium and just goes, "Oh, so we need to salute you, but you don't salute your boss?"
I've done it once or twice when needed.
Like, right, well, we'll be on the boat when you need us.
Bud. He seems kind of sad when he says that.
Like, well, we're your company no matter what flag we serve under, sir. We'll have the boat ready when you need her, and, well, if you need us to carry swords on land, we're there too.
He'll give a chest salute to that.
Right, well, we'll finish up our breakfast. The meat here's awful, but we've already paid for it, so we're gonna finish, and we'll be on the boat when you need us.
See you then, lad.
As they start to leave, Midnight will turn to Leon and kind of like give it seems like it's a bit of an over the top, like, hello, nice to meet you, but I'm signaling in Thieves' Cant, keep your head on a swivel.
Like, storm's on the horizon, eh, Dimber? Gotcha!
And he'll turn around and he'll say, I like these guys. I really like them. Oh, that's not... I've been in the top.
You got too deep in the info.
Give me a second. Red, leather, yellow... Yeah, okay.
Yep, find your range, go on.
Oh, wow! Wow! I just had some flashbacks, man!
He turns around and smiles and says, you know, I really like these guys. There it is. That's the sweet spot.
As they're heading back to their table, you just see Lorium staring at the back of Samson's head. It's like, just wait until he blows something up.
Well,
That only
to be
happened
fair...
like 4 or 5 times.
With a 0.
I mean,
we should
without
see
you
who
telling
can
me.
make a bigger. We should see who can make a bigger explosion.
I'm into that.
Don't challenge him, we won't have a boat.
Well, we wouldn't do it on the boat.
You gotta be specific.
Do you think they'd enjoy seeing us have another duel, Lorian?
And immediately all of them kind of like foreheads just sort of swivel around.
Probably.
We'll have to see if we can make that happen then. You know, I know it's hard to believe, but I did put up a pretty good fight. I almost beat him.
I shook her out of a tree.
That he did.
Oh no.
Shala kind of seems to kind of flicks Leon on the ear to get his attention back, and then just goes, "It was a pleasure to meet you all. I shall ensure that we are ready to leave whenever you need us on the boat."
Thanks, Wiz.
Of course. Uncle the boss.
Fuck.
I like them a lot. And as we leave, by the way, like almost as soon as we get outside, Naira will just suddenly sort of turn and look at you and roll either a perception or an insight.
They're both exactly the same. So insight's funnier because I
Easy
always
27.
pass. See?
You got nothing, so you might be a little bit surprised, but she sort of throws her arms around you and gives you a hug, and then in your ear you just hear a very quiet, "Thank you."
And he just reaches up and gently pats your back. Anytime, boss.
And then as we walk, her her outfit completely changes, just magically becomes this.
It's based on her emotions.
Yes.
Much more high class.
And Uther just suddenly goes,
Tight fitting.
Oh
jeans.
my!
Shall we go?
Please lead the way.
okay.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Okay,
yeah.
we broke Andrew. We broke Andrew.
This is one of those situations where I feel like I should have gotten some kind of joke, and I'm not sure what I just missed.
There's a reason he's having you lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh!
That wisdom. That real life wisdom coming.
And as we're a few steps outside, I would just say very loudly, I'd say, "Sir Lawyer, my knight, you have done well in selection of the new crew," so that they would hear it.
Cut! Fuck up. Real quick. Just walk. Quietly. For 10 minutes.
So, you leave behind you the Ile d'A, passing through to the Royal Isle. All around you in Perona, the preparations for the fete are underway. Fates in this town being governed by art, and the colleges being a major institution. Fates, celebrations, and anything of that sort are not private affairs for the upper classes, but are celebrated citywide, and you see preparations for this all around you as you travel. Garlands being hung, stages being set up over and above what already inhabit the isle and beyond it. Taverns rolling out extra barrels, setting up extra tables and the like. Obviously, there is an air of expectation in the air as you travel from isle to isle and are allowed into the palace grounds. Certainly, Uther and Naira are both familiar faces in this context at this point, from their frequent visitations and participation in the ongoing negotiations. All of you, however, are allowed through, and Uther, you are able, and Naira both, are very familiar with the location of what has become known as the embassy. So. The embassy is a villa on the grounds of the Summer Palace that has been granted to Lady Loretta and the Vanyan functionaries as a dual-purpose lodging and office during the last few months.
Did Valko come with us?
He did.
Is he there?
He is. He should be behind you.
I don't see him.
Oh.
There he is. Hi, Puppy.
The embassy has become a familiar sight to certainly Uther and Naira in the past few months, and though it is large by most standards, it seems fairly humble next to the grandeur of the palace that can be seen rising above the manicured hedgerows and trees that surround it. Still, you, both Naira and Uther, would know that it is certainly a welcome change for her and other Vanyan diplomats who are used to a, shall we say, frostier reception than has been the case on their in the last, on this visit compared to their previous excursions that they may have made to the city. Bright and fairly airy on the interior, it gives the impression of kind of a artist's studio or a musician's conservatory. However, in the recent days and weeks, it has been quite crowded with visitors, clerks, and other functionaries from both kingdoms who have continued the delicate business of smoothing out the decades of rising tensions. As you approach, there is a clerk at the sitting at a desk by the door, who looks up and smiles as he recognizes both you and, or both Naira and Uther, and says, Lord and Lady Lionsbane, welcome. Lady Loretta said to expect you. She is in her office. Do you require refreshments or anything?
A breakfast beer would be it, actually.
Certainly, my lord. Yes, I'll have it brought in as you speak to her. You can go on through. No. You brought your canine companion?
Valko. Yes, his name is Valko.
Yes. Good dog. I don't suppose he'll be waiting outside.
Unless it is required, he does like to come with me. He's very protective.
Oh, certainly. The lady said to accommodate you in whatever manners possible. So, I suppose he is welcome.
I promise he'll be such a well-behaved boy. You won't even notice he's here.
If you insist. And he sort of like backs up against the wall.
Valko, sneak.
He's like,
and where were we
and
going?
yes, you know Lady Loretta's office is back here toward the rear of the ground floor.
And how do we get there?
Around this way.
Squeeze past these fine people.
Yeah. And if you like, I can just like skydaddy you all into there.
Please, yes.
Yeah. So
I am a strong, independent water who needs no sky daddy.
You'll get your skydaddy and you will like it.
The way he said Sky Daddy.
I've been officed. I'm in the principal's office. Does she look different?
Say again?
Does her token look any different, or am I just insane?
You're insane.
No, it's the same.
It's the same, yeah.
Right.
You're just
my plan.
No, your
Lady
depth
Loretta,
perception
how
is
lovely.
off.
How lovely to see you.
And yeah, as the door opens, and you enter into the office, you see that Lady Loretta is already at work. On the desk next to her, there are remnants of a breakfast that she has evidently had at her desk. And you see several sheets of paper and sealed letters that she has evidently already completed this morning. And as you enter, she goes, "Ah, Lord and Lady Lionsbane, and the rest of the lions. Well, I'm glad you could come. You have a page with you. I did not know that you had acquired staff."
Yes, they've been rather helpful.
Well, I'm gratified to hear it. I assume, since you brought them with you, that I may speak freely in their presence?
Oh, of course. We don't keep the company of anyone we don't trust.
I'm gratified to hear. Lady Loretta, charmed to make your acquaintance.
Midnight will give a curt, like, a bow.
Right. Please, do take a seat. Just allow me a moment to finish this correspondence. And she bends down to her letter and seems to be finishing off a paragraph. A few moments later, the page from the door appears, breakfast beer in hand, hands it over to you, hurries away, kind of pauses a moment to see if anyone else has any requests, clears the dishes from Lady Loretta's desk, and hurries out.
Nothing sort of tries to get his attention, and then he hurries out, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh no! If you like, he does sort of pan his eyes over all of you. Like, is there?
She'd like a coffee or something.
Pepsi.
We don't have Pepsi. Is Coke okay?
Yes.
But yes, he will, like, any refreshments that you guys request, he will sort of acknowledge and hurry out, and return a moment later, so that, Uther has his beer, Naira has her coffee, and he will have like a kind of sparkling cocktail for Lorium. And finally, Lady Loretta kind of seems to finish her letter, dusts some sand over the ink to let it dry, and then seals it and presses her royal signet into the wax seal. She goes, the work never ends, does it? Now, I must thank you for attending me this early. I know that you must be looking forward to the fete this afternoon.
It's very much so, actually.
Good. Well, the reason that I asked you here was to, let you know that if you are amenable to it, both King Lotusio and and Queen Alorana would be most grateful to you if you would allow us to make another request of the lions at this fete.
Certainly.
You know that.
So, well, I am certainly pleased to hear that. Well, as you know, this fete is to celebrate the signing of the Accords, and as I am certain you understand, Lord Uther and Lady Naira, those Accords would not have been possible without your entreaty to Karak Asgore. Their voice has lent an urgency to the cooperation between our kingdoms that has not existed in decades. And for that cooperation to continue, that urgency must bear fruition. It has been determined that as soon as the fate is concluded, tomorrow if possible, a convoy shall be sent north with the intent of arriving at Karak Asgore, bringing with it not only a copy of the Accords, bearing the signatures of both monarchs, but gifts and tributes intended to remind them of the benefits that could come from renewed trade with the plains. You, Lord Uther, have been named as kin, and so it is felt by all that should the Accords arrive and the treaty come in your hands, it would have a more grateful reception than it otherwise might.
Quick question. What am I getting through the connection right now?
Yeah, he's playing it ultra smooth, like, I'm allowing you to request, but in the back of his head, you can hear him going, "Ooh, I gotta go and see the dwarves. This is gonna be amazing."
At Christmas, I'm like, okay, well, that's an easy request.
It's just that it's Homer Simpson running around on the floor of Mr. Burns' office going, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yes, 100%.
Goes, of course, I do understand that a request of this magnitude and importance would not be expected to be given without reward. And so, well, it is to be formally announced, but I am pleased to reveal that a portion of the negotiations that were able to take place without your mediation were concerned the fief of Adalor in Caloronava. It has been under, well, shall we say, a form of legal limbo for many years now, since the fall of the Empire in point of fact, but has ostensibly been under the administration of the Crown of Vanya. Should you undertake and succeed in this endeavor, and should the Accords be accepted by the throne of Karak Asgore, that fief and its holdings would be placed into the care of the Lions of the Harashan Coast. Its rents and benefits to be shared among you according to your party charter. I trust that you have such a document?
Oh, of course. And Naira's beaming at you guys know.
It's been set up way in advance.
He goes, good. As I'm certain you understand, there are a measure of legal niceties and the like that would have to take place to ratify and verify such a document, and etc., etc. But, well, that, in summary, at least, is the offer. Escort the convoy and the Accords themselves to the gates of Karak Asgore. Present them in whatever way you can to Queen Koldabar Mistadun Torbera, and secure her aid, and, well, the trade and wealth of Gerdak. And, as I have said, neither kingdom shall be found ungrateful. Can I take it that such an offer could be made?
He raises an eyebrow and looks towards Naira as he says, "Well, what do you think, darling? I gotta become a landed noble without your desire for such a thing."
You made a history check?
Yeah, I got a 25 on my history check. What do I know about this? Did you call it a fief?
The fief of Adalor.
Yeah.
Let me pop it into...
Mostly like good location. Is it something that people? I know it's under contention, but is it one of those like
Oceanside or Detroit?
Yeah.
Does it have a good school system?
With a 25, actually, yes, you are quite familiar with this. Your specialization was Imperial history and the Fall during your studies at Sorveni, and this was one of those kind of interesting little tidbits that you learned about during your studies. The Fief of Adalor was held by, during Imperial times, by a noble family that was based in what is now Avignosera, and therefore was technically a part of Avignosera, but was on the wrong side of the Serenalo River, and so was, as I said, taken into administration by the Vanyan crown, given that there was no legitimate Vanyan claim to its management, and has therefore been maintained by essentially just the seneschal of the Fief for the intervening decades. What you do know of it, though, is actually quite pleasant. It is about 100 acres on the banks of the Serenalo River, the river that divides Avignosera and Vanya, or Kalaronava, I should say. It has a small keep, a village of about 300 souls, and is it's not a particularly special or kind of prosperous place, otherwise legal limbo would have been resolved, but it is certainly would be it's certainly a pleasant enough place. And in fact, with a 25 and your kind of steel trap mind, you recall having passed it on your most recent cruise going down toward Perona. The keep itself is fairly tidy and well maintained. There is the village sits on the bank of the river itself, has a small dockside area with taverns and a blacksmith that serve the vessels going back and forth along the river, and a small fishing fleet. Much of the land around it is farms and orchards. It's, again, nothing particularly special, but there is a small-ish but functional keep with 2 Barbican towers that overlook the river.
Naira gives a sort of subtle nod, but you can definitely feel that she's just like, this is a good idea.
Excellent. As he then turns towards the rest of the group, giving a raised eyebrow, thumbs up, yes? Get our own land property in?
We're not going to be murder hobos anymore. Now we're just going to be murderers.
Yay!
We're gonna be murdering nobles.
We're gonna be warlords.
Oh, there you go.
Promotion, you guys.
Lady Loretta is like, what have I done?
Lorium just nods. Sounds good to me. Place to actually stay that we don't have to pay for.
People will pay us to stay. Yeah, I'm liking this. I think we'd be more than willing to fill in. I believe that it'd be a generous gift to be given, seeing as being the linchpin of the Accord, to be a neutral, so to say, party. And to get such battled over lands is an honor by both kingdoms.
You see her kind of... She doesn't seem surprised by your assent, but there is a measure of relief in her voice. She goes, "Good. Well, I will let the relevant parties know that things can proceed then. Preparations will be ready. Would you be amenable to leaving? Well, I understand that this is short notice, but potentially as soon as tomorrow. We would be taking the north road along the Serenalo, crossing at Holodor, and then, well, I am afraid I don't know much about the passes beyond that point. They've been unused for some time now, but, well, that would be a portion of the responsibility laid on you, would be to find a way."
We've got a Wanderer Scout. I'm sure we'll be able to find our way there.
Good. Then, well, yes, I will ensure that the wagons are loaded and ready for your convenience tomorrow. There will be a small contingent of guards and such to assist you with the animals and the wagons themselves. right. Well, I suppose I need hardly worry about the security of the that you will all be accompanying it.
Lorem just gives a slight little chuckle.
It's like, then, well, I thank you for joining me and for your invaluable assistance these last few weeks and the invaluable assistance to come. Is there anything further that you need of me?
It has been truly a pleasure to work with you in such efforts. But there's nothing I can think that is required. Although I'm sure I'll have something at some point to bring to your attention.
For what you've done for both kingdoms, you have but to ask. And again, I know that it shall be said in a more official capacity this evening, but for now, for my part, for what you did on the Isle, and for what you have done these last few weeks, for the war you have prevented and for the lives that you have saved, thank you.
It was truly my pleasure. Not bad for a worshipper of a death god, I think. Just smiles.
What is your phrase? It is merely another step on the journey. Though, hopefully one I will not take for some time.
Hopefully not.
Tonight then, at the fete. Thank you, all.
Give her a deep bow. Perhaps we can do some entertaining.
I am certain that the Queen would like nothing less, or nothing more. That was a slip of the tongue by Andrew. By Lady.
She's like, I've spent too much
I was trying
time
to say, I was trying to say, like, I am certain the Queen would be expecting as such or whatever, but I just got all confused.
The Queen's already been selling tickets for it, so it is 100% expected. We have to do it.
But cool. Okay. You all give your bows, make your way out. And I know that you have a very early start tomorrow, so why don't we cut it there for tonight?
Perfect.
And we shall pick up next week. And let us know, like, if you need a bit more time or whatever, we shall pick it up. But the plan will be we shall pick it up next week, and at the Stone Path Fate.
Yay!
Yay!
We're going on an adventure.
Woo!
And Solus can just sleep in someone's backpack.
Yep.
You can go spend the day with Mama Danroy.
I thought that he might spend the day with Mama Danroy or hunting rats in the rafters at the tavern, something like that.
This place will be purged of their filth.
Yeah, that checks out.
So it was that Solus single-handedly ended the spread of the Black Plague.
That would be impressive.
What an absolute god among cats.
Well, yeah, he has a single hand.
Yeah, he's a cat with opposable thumbs. It's like the worst case scenario.
And he cries. When he cries, there are tears. It's incredible.
You're talking about the mage hand. I thought, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you guys figured it out.
No, not yet. They're still getting there. But, like, you know, you could tell me the secret if you know.
I know what the
Like,
eye
I
of
get
the
it,
world
but
is.
why don't you explain it to my friend?
Yeah, just to, like, prove it to me that you know.
Look in
You should tell me everything
Solus's
you know.
little pouch marked Solus. I'm kidding.
I don't want to.
Anyway, we'll end it there for
Put him
tonight.
in the haversack, and then there would be a tragedy.
No!
He's got 9 lives. He could stay in there for like an hour and be fine.
Look, at least give me one more spell level and a diamond before we do that.
You're asking for 2 more levels total? That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
You think
I'm
we'll
saying
make it
you
to level
motherfuckers can't
4?
die.
I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Okay.
Cool.